are 4-0. And what makes that matchup even better is it's a rivalry game. Those two teams don't like each other very much. They get in a lot of fights. There's a lot of heavy hitting, a lot of banter between the two. But right now, Muskegon leads 1-0 after one. So the reigning Clark Cup champions looking to go to 5-0 on the season over their rival Youngstown Phantoms.
You know, you talked about this matchup, last year's matchup between the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers 2-1 previous season, but last 5 seasons, is that correct? I think we've only played them 7 times, so the Buccaneers 2-5 against Chicago Steel. I'm sure the stats right here, last 5 seasons. So
Wow.
Haven't played Chicago Steel really that much, not like Omaha, or it seems like we played Cedar Rapids quite a bit last year, and we played Waterloo in the Tobacco Cup Series in Dubuque, and Omaha will play them a little bit more. Tri-City, everybody in the Western Conference. But kind of funny to see that stat there. I would have thought we would have played Chicago a lot more than that. But they're in the Eastern Division.
Yeah, the Western teams seem to meet the Eastern teams about twice each season. Sometimes it's a little more, a little less, unless you're like Cedar Rapids in the case of, the Dupaco Cowboy Cup, which I met them 7 times along with Dubuque 7-8 times. That's all. You see them a lot. You see them play each other all the time, and it's fun to see because the players definitely get a bit of a rivalry going on the ice, but it's always fun to see. And speaking of the Rough Riders, chance at history tonight, actually, out in Cedar Rapids. The Lincoln Stars and Rough Riders, we have head coach Mark Carlson looking to break the USHL's all-time winningest coach record. And if he gets a win tonight, he does just that, and he is currently tied with former Waterloo Blackhawks coach P.K. O'Hanley with 778 career wins. So he'll have a shot at it tonight, and we'll see if history is made in Cedar Rapids tonight or if it'll have to wait till another day.
Yeah, congratulations to him, and that'd be fun. It's always nice to talk to that coach when he's here. And, look forward to see that result there.
And then we have another close rivalry game, the Sioux City Musketeers and Sioux Falls Stampede. That's a close game for both of those franchises. The Musketeers 1-1-1-0 on the season, and the Stampede are 2-1-0-0 on the season. So the Musketeers looking to pick up their second win of the season, win their home opener. We have Omaha heading to Dubuque. Of course, if you remember last season, Omaha with a disastrous season, to put it as friendly as can be, because that was a season to forget for the Omaha Lancers. They're 1-3 on the season, looking to hopefully pick up a win against the undefeated Dubuque Fighting Saints, 3-0 on the season. And the Fighting Saints, pure domination in their first game this season, putting up 10 goals on the Musketeers out in Pittsburgh. So Fighting Saints looking to be a dominant team again in the USHL. And then lastly, we have the National Development Team, who is 1-2-1-0, heading to Madison to face the 2-2 Capitals. And that rounds out our slate of games in the USHL today. But this one, just a couple minutes from getting underway.
Got a nice crowd over here. Well, I thought they were bringing the mats out for the players, but it looks like they're going to do national anthem there with a full squad of kids down there, Eliza. So.
Well, tomorrow would be a good day because it's a kids' opening day tomorrow for the Buccaneers. Tomorrow's game against the Chicago Steel. Of course, tonight is our home opener, but tomorrow we have our kids' opening day here at the Recplex out here in West Des Moines, where there's a hockey stick pencil giveaway. So make sure to come out with the family. All details are on the Buccaneers website. Tickets also on the Buccaneers website, so make sure to check it out. Bring the family out for a Saturday night game here at the Recplex.
And you guys can see the camera finally panned over there. See what we were talking about, all the kids on the ice. And I'm sure they're going to sing a beautiful national anthem. Not real sure, Eliza, but we don't get told that stuff, what's going on behind the scenes. But cool to see that over there. Just moments away from going on the ice. You're looking at the schedule there. Big month here in October here for the Buccaneers, but I was kind of looking down through there for, I think in December, not a whole lot of games here at Buccaneer Arena. Only 2 games in December here for the Buccaneers. So We're getting ready to do the home opener here.
Assistant coach Tommy Gilgan. Goalie coach C.J. Mott. Skills coach Tim Conroy. Equipment manager Kyle Worley. Athletic trainer Brittany Dijon. Now your Buccaneers roster, beginning with tonight's stretches. A forward from Arlington Heights, Illinois. Number 7, Ethan Howell.
Just kind of let you guys listen to Andy over there.
Number 15, Becker Wiggins. Forward from Woodbury, Minnesota, number 27, Riley Zucker. Now the remainder of the Des Moines Buccaneers roster. Beginning with an defenseman from Eden, Minnesota, number 2, Clinton.
It looks like they're going to announce the entire team out there.
Yeah, returning buck from last season, Keaton Norrie.
Number 3, Jason Davenport.
Jason Davenport out there for the Buccaneers.
Texas, number 5, Ryan
Rylan Randall, Buccaneers acquired him about a month ago. So one of the newer additions to the team.
Number 6, Joseph Argentina.
Out there for the Buccaneers.
Defenseman from Woodbury, Minnesota, number 8, Henry Schmidt.
Mill for the Buccaneers.
Arizona State commit.
Forward from Berlin, New Jersey, number 10, Blake
Zielinski for the Buccaneers, number 10.
Someone the USHL World has been keeping their eyes on, Blake Zielinski.
Yeah, he's had some nice interviews out there. I've listened to some of his interviews. So
Reese Wallen.
number 13,
Liam Kiss, number 13, returning for another season here with the Buccaneers.
Zidlicki, one of the newest Buccaneers. He got traded from Youngstown to Des Moines.
Ryan Ruling for the Buccaneers.
Buccaneers tender pick last season. Nickel,
Kel for the Buccaneers, number 21.
another new Buccaneer acquired from the Rough Riders. Two roll-offs.
Tylek, Ryan Tylek.
The former Steel looking to get some revenge on his team this weekend.
It's be interesting if he scores. It usually happens when you're playing your old team. Ryan Thorpe in the game. Or Gus Thorpe, I'm sorry, I said Ryan. Matt Violet, number 30, starting goalie for tonight. Returner for this season. Hughes got to play that third period up in Waterloo. Looked pretty good. For the Buccaneers, number 37, Ryan.
Another returning Buccaneer. Luke Norcross, Western Michigan commit.
25-26 season. First, a forward from Blaine, Minnesota, number 17, assistant captain.
Harper Searles, assistant captain on the season.
Number 2, New York, number 22, assistant captain Nate Delorta.
Belladonna, number 22 for the Buccaneers.
Defenseman from Plainfield, Illinois, number 24, new captain
Ryan Kroll, captain for the Buccaneers.
Gotta watch out when he's on the ice.
Yeah.
26.
There's your 25-26, Des Moines Buccaneers. And I cannot believe we're saying 26. And man,
Oh, man.
2025 is just flying by. It's October already. On the road New Year's Eve in Waterloo, and that will be here in a blink of an eye, I'm sure. So And Chicago still just entering the ice right now after a nice presentation here for the Buccaneers.
Bucs fans giving them a warm welcome to the ice.
Well, Liza, you text me today. You're tired of the heat. And I think we're gonna get a break in the heat here soon this weekend. I think it's gonna cool down. But I'll tell you what, October 1st, whatever today's date is, October 3rd, and it's 90 degrees outside in Des Moines, Iowa. That's unreal. Very nice job. A young group down there to our right, Eliza. National anthem is over. Lights will come back on here pretty quickly as they pick up the mats and the logos. And then the 25-26, I just about said 24-25. 25-26 season is going to be underway at home, at least for the Buccaneers. As like we say, we have played 3 away games. 1 game in Pittsburgh was a home game. I'm not sure which one was supposed to be a home game, but officially, this is our home start here at the Recplex out here in West Des Moines at the Buccaneer Arena.
And the 45th season of Des Moines Buccaneers hockey.
Yeah.
As we have a special puck drop.
Medicine and sports medicine provider at the Iowa Clinic. Dr. Muller chased his hockey dreams, competing full-time until an injury shifted his path into medicine. Also joining us tonight is James Markham. James is a retired senior medic, firefighter, and Navy corpsman. Since retiring, he is now the president of Walk Your Plants Des Moines. Please welcome, join us in welcoming Dr. Caleb Holder, Justin Thompson, and James Markham. Gentlemen. Let's hear it one more time. Justin Thompson, Dr. Caleb Holder, and James Markham. It's time for Bucs hockey right here at your Texas. It's a race!
Work right
All right, here we go. Things getting set here at the Recplex for the 25-26 season.
Buccaneers wearing their red jerseys, 45th anniversary jerseys. Going to your left on the screen, Chicago still wearing their white and black jerseys. Going to your right, Owen Tylick taking the face-off here for the Buccaneers. Schultz with the face-off for the Still. And the Buccaneers win the face-off. They draw it all the way down to their offensive side of the ice. Still sends it back the other direction on the left-hand side. And that's going to be our first whistle of the game on icy, 1948 of the first period. Well, Liza, not much here. Face-off and icing in 12 seconds, so...
Oh, yeah, if you're the Buccaneers, you need to get off to a better start than you did last week in Waterloo. Allowing a goal within the first minute is not ideal, so looking to get off on the right foot here at home in front of all these fans would be a great thing for the Buccaneers to really get them going and this building going as well.
Same face-off again. Tyler and Schultz out there for the steal to the glove side of Chicago Steel goaltender. Played on the near side, chipped it out of the zone all the way up through the neutral zone. Ullman has it for the steal, sends it all the way down. Tyler chasing after it with Davenport. Wiley just sends it around on the near side. Off the near boards out to the far side. Buccaneers all the way up on the near side. Now hard hit right in front of the Chicago bench. Kemp's with it for the steal. Sends it to the far side. Charlton picks it up at the blue line. Circles back around. Sends it to the far side. Chicago still up out of the zone. Cycling around right up through the Buccaneer logo. And the Bucks pick it off, coming back the other way. Argentina with it for the Buccaneers. Going to wait for a line change here. Fires it towards the goaltender. Just sent wide. The Chicago Steel, number 35 for the Chicago Steel. Shot on net, save.
You know, Argentina making a lot happen there on that play. He was the one that entered the offensive zone, got things set up for the Buccaneers, and then he was the one that had the shot that Charo had to stop. And he's been flying so far, and he's very fast, very speedy. So someone they still need to look out for, but the Buccaneers can use to their advantage.
Bergen with the faceoff for the Steel. Deladonna with the faceoff for the Buccaneers. Buccaneers win the faceoff. Still try to get a stick on it, sent off to the far side. Off the half boards. Loose puck. And the Buccaneers come up with it just below the blue line on the near side. Randall with it. Fires it. Shot tipped in front. And Still with a save. Went from his right to the left through the blue paint. And it's 0-0 hockey game. Still nice save by that goaltender. Right out in front again. Shot save again. And the Still chips it up out of the zone all the way down to the Buccaneer in the rink.
That took a weird bounce off the boards, and that seems to happen a lot here at the Recplex. So for both teams, keep your head up. Weird bounces happen, and it almost came back there to bite the Steel.
Steel comes back the other direction down to the Buccaneer into the rink. Could not get a shot off. Deladonna steals the puck. Comes back the other way. Signature with it for the Bucks up through center ice. Buccaneers out shooting the Steel 2-0. And the linesman gets taken down as the fans cheer it on. I never like it when the referee or the linesman get taken out. Theo Kiss with it, walks it in right out front, and oh my gosh, had a guy wide open. Harper Searles wide open on the right side, just a little bit out of reach. Theo Kiss comes right back with it, walking around the goaltender. Top of the circle, right-hand side. He's going to continue on with it. He goes a 360 all the way around on the offensive side of the ice. For the Buccaneers, puck squirts free. Roney with it, sent to the far side. Across the blue line, down and deep. Still picks it up in behind their own goaltender. Played on the near side. Chipped up out of the zone. And that's going to be icing on the Steel. 17:08 left in the first period. Liza, I like what we saw so far there. Almost got the first goal of the evening as it trickled through the blue paint, just a little bit out of reach.
Yeah, it was tough
open
for both players there. Kiss at a very sharp angle, tries to get the puck across. It's the defenseman right there in the slot. He gets it over, and Searles just not able to corral that in. It was a wide open net. Sherrod was completely committed to Kiss's shot, what he thought was going to be a shot, but it ended up not coming back to bite the Steel. And right now the Buccaneers are buzzing in the offensive zone.
Harper Searles with the faceoff for the Buccaneers. Still win the faceoff. They bring it up out of the zone, sent to the far side. Off the far right-hand side, the Buccaneers steal it, bring it right back the other way. Lansky with it for the Bucks, couldn't hang on to it. Kroll dumps it in. Down in behind the Chicago Steel goaltender. Working it right out front. Played on the near side. Tried to get it back to Kroll, couldn't do it. Chicago Steel working the puck at the blue line, up through center ice, dumps it down in the Buccaneer. Weiland with it for the Bucks, sends it back the other way. And here comes the Bucks up out of the zone, 1-on-2, coming back the other way. Couldn't get the extra step he needed to break it free. And who was that, number 10 for the Buccaneers, Zielinski, as he was just out of steam. Fires it towards Weiland. Chicago still with it, up to the top of the circle, sent over to the far side. 16:05 left in the first period. Eliza, I was wondering where all these noises from the kids came from. We got a whole group of kids behind us, which is cool to see. I think they're the ones that sung the national anthem. Late on the near side, Buccaneers with it, trying to clear it up out of the zone. Argentina with it all the way up through center ice. Across the blue line, down into the Chicago Steel defensive side of the ice. Still pick it up off the inboards, played to the near side. On that half board. Roll off with it for the Bucks. Centering pass right to a high slot. And they still pick it off. They bring it back the other way. Across the blue line, sent over to the half boards. Still dumps it in deep. Played to the near side, off the half boards again. Across with it for the Buccaneers, and he comes onto the bench. Back to Weiland. Weiland has to get back in net. He was playing it against the inboards there, just about got caught. Played to the near side. Chicago still with it on the half board. Charlton with it. Played to the right-hand side. Picked off by Searles. Right out front. Shot. Never made it. And the Chicago still looking for their first shot on goal. The Buccaneers out shooting them 2-0. And that's going to be icing on the Buccaneers. 14:41 left the first offensive or defensive faceoff here for the Bucs.
Yeah, just a couple mistakes in your own zone. You first have Wylet trying to play the puck, and he gets bared down on immediately by a couple of skill players, and he gets the puck away, but then Reese Wallen gets it, turns it right back over. So watch turnovers in your own zone, especially in front of your own net. That's the worst spot to turn the puck over.
Drew Roloff with the faceoff for the Buccaneers, wins it to the far side. Off the half board. Back to the blue line. Fires it, shot on net. First shot and save for Weiland. And the Buccaneers able to cheer it. Tip it out. Icing waved off. To the far boards. Played to the near side. Buccaneers not able to get much offense here going, and that's going to be icing on Chicago Steel. 14:08 left in the first. Offensive faceoff here for the Bucs.
A lot of icings to start off this game, especially against the Steel. I know we just had one on the Buccaneers before the Steel just iced it, but we've seen the Buccaneers in the offensive zone quite a bit to start off the game. Chicago just had their push, but it only ended up in one shot that was a shot from distance that Violet was able to easily steer away. So not much so far offensively, but some good looks.
Harper Searles with the faceoff, and the Buccaneers win the faceoff. They draw it back to center ice, though, sent over to the far side at the blue line, back to the neutral zone. Back and forth it goes. Still pick it up, dump it down in. This time Weiland's just going to leave it there on the inboards. Didn't go out to play it. As we talked about it, he got caught almost behind his net, and the puck comes free. It's going to be on the goaltender, no icing. Franken with it for the Chicago Steel. Up to Dyer. Buccaneers pick it off at the blue line. Back and forth it goes. Searles has it for the Bucs. To the near side. To the far side. And the Buccaneers stay onside. Davenport with it. Fires it right through the blue paint. And another one by the Buccaneers. Theo Kiss was looking for that one-timer into the net. Just out of reach.
Good job by the defenseman Davenport to, be the one that leads the rush there. And another close chance for Theo Kiss. This time it would have been a goal, but another good 2-on-1 and close chance for the Bucs.
Yeah, I like that. Both good chances. Buccaneers with it at center ice. Back the other way it comes. And the Buccaneers turn it over. Pace has it for the Steel. Fires it, just goes wide to Weiland. He did get a blocker on it, but it was going to go wide anyway. Did not count as a shot. He chasing after it for the Bucs on the right-hand side. First penalty of the evening. And it's going to be against the Chicago Steel. As soon as they touch it up, the Buccaneers with it at the end line. Extra attacker out there for the Bucs. Empty net, and the Chicago Steel do touch it up.
And looks like number 20, Marco Sinersha, going to the box, the Chicago Steel. And that puts the Buccaneers on the Mid-American Energy Company power play. The first power play at home for the Buccaneers this season, and they've only scored one power play goal thus far this season, so looking to strike
Get a
again.
media
But
timeout here, so we'll get a
perfect timeout.
Yeah, perfect timeout. So shots on net after about 8 minutes into this game, 2-1 for the Buccaneers. And like I just said, we're on the Mid-America Energy power play here.
And, you know, the Buccaneers, this is a good media timeout for them to give some time to rest. You know, Zielinski was just out on the ice. He's the one that drew the penalty. And, you know, get him a little bit of rest, talk things over right now. So it looks like Associate Head Coach Kevin Schmidt with the whiteboard out down there talking to the players, trying to get things set up, while the Chicago Steel, no whiteboard out there. Relaxed right now, just talking, laughing, smiling to each other. There's kind of two different tales on the benches right now. We have the Bucks getting a plan going, and the Steel are a little more relaxed right now. But we'll see what happens. 2 minutes up on the board. Chicago Steel penalty. Marcos inertia as the players head back out into the ice as we get ready for the first power play of the evening.
McKee with the face-off for the Buccaneers to the stick side. Charles. Buccaneers win the face-off, draw it back to Randall, send over to the far side. Right-hand side, walks it in, fires a shot on net, save. And the puck comes free. Randall with it again, left-hand side to the right-hand side, right through the slot. The Buccaneers pick it up. Tyler had it in the left-hand corner. Kept in at the blue line by Randall, sent over to the far side. Zielinski with it off the far boards, right out in front. Tyler chasing after it in the left-hand corner. Back to Randall, working on the left-hand side. Tipped towards the net, never made it. Played on the left-hand side again. The Buccaneers working that left side of the ice. Kind of did that up in Waterloo a little bit more, too. Randall with it out on the left. To Tyler. Sends it back, top of the circle. Looking for a guy. To the far side. Fires a shot. Just goes wide of the black Chicago Steel's goaltender. Sent over to the far side. Fires a shot again. Just went wide. Randall with it now. Good opportunity there for the Buccaneers. Walks the blue line. Sent over to the far side. Back to Randall. Fires a shot. Tipped in front. Shot again. Goal! Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah. The Buccaneers get a power play goal. 11-10 of the first period. And it's 1-0 hockey game. Tic-tac-toe. Nice goal there, Eliza.
Joseph Argentina getting his name on the board for the second consecutive game. He scored last game for the Buccaneers up in Waterloo. Gets one tonight. And Buccaneers lead 1-0 on a power play goal. And the Buccaneers power play got a couple chances consecutively from Blake Zielinski on the right circle. But if you keep putting the puck to the net, good things happen. And Argentina picked up a rebound after a Ryland shot from the point. And he buried it. And the Buccaneers lead.
1-0. Buccaneers with it again. Walk top of the circle. Shot. Save. As the Chicago Steel goaltender was right on top of that. The Buccaneers just about made that a 2-0 hockey game.
What a move by Deladonna there to get that pass off.
Right up through center ice. Here comes the Chicago Steel. Turn it. Come back the other way. Down to the Buccaneer into the rink. Play to the near side. Off the half boards. Right out in front, and the Buccaneers bring it up out of the zone, up through the neutral zone to the right-hand side. Got tripped up, no call. Here comes Joseph Martina gets the goal for the Buccaneers, and we'll get the assist here. Ryan Randall with the assist. Wade Zielinski with the second assist on that. Davenport with it for the Buccaneers down to the defensive side of the ice, up to Searles. Play to the near side by Thorpe. Over to Davenport. Buccaneers chip it all the way up in the high ceiling here, just about hit the lights. But we continue on, just in between the speakers, actually. Davenport chasing after it, in behind his own goaltender, Weiling. Play to the near side, Kiss. To the far side, to the neutral zone. Got Searles cutting towards the net. Couldn't get it to him. Searles picks it up off the end boards. He circles around. Back to Kroll. Right out in front. In the high slot. Buccaneers are buzzing. Searles with it. Top to circle to Kroll. Sent to the far side. And we're going to get
Penalty on Searles, I do believe. One of the Blackhawks has his helmet knocked off behind the play, and that's the captain, Carter Franku. Had his helmet off. I assume it'll be a rough of some sort. Yep, a roughing penalty on Harper Searles, and the Buccaneers going on the Hicklin Door services penalty kill. Well, we have a chance to take a look at the goal. The Buccaneers goal, Argentina with it. So watch this. Some great puck movement by the Buccaneers. Gets up top to Randall. He shoots. The rebound goes to Argentina. I think he hits the post originally, then gets his own rebound. One more time here. He gets a shot off the post.
You're right.
Gets the rebound, and Argentina hypes up the crowd. And that is how we get to where we are now. 1-0 lead for the Bucs, but they have some work to do here as they are now on the penalty kill. So the Buccaneers are 10 for 11 on the PK so far this season. The one goal they allowed was on their very first penalty kill chance of the season. So perfect ever since then. Knock on wood. Don't want the announcer things to come into play here. But the Buccaneers, if they can continue to do what they've been doing, then Derek Amon and the rest of the bench squad be happy.
Owen Tyler with the face-off for the Buccaneers to the glove side of Weiland. Winston Davenport sends it to the far side. The Buccaneers, nice kill so far, sends it all the way down. Actually gets a shot on net from wrapping it around the net. And the Buccaneers able to clear it up out of the zone at the blue line. And boy, I thought that was offsides and still, but the linesman right on top of it. No offsides there. Schultz with it for the steal, right out front. Shot on net, saved by Weiland. And the puck comes free all the way back down, and the Chicago still into the ring. 1:24 left on the penalty. 8:39 remaining in the first period. The Buccaneers up 1-0 on a power play goal. Chicago still looking to tie it up on their power play. Play to the near side. Roll off down there for the Bucs. Tried to clear it out. Play to the near side. Schultz with it again for the Chicago Steel. And the Buccaneers, nice penalty kill. Sends it the opposite direction.
Yeah, they were looking to feed Crowder right there in the slot on both chances. It doesn't go both times, so good job on the Buccaneers by snuffing out that play to get to that bumper.
Here comes Chicago still back the other way on the right-hand side. Thorpe plays it off the inboards for the Buccaneers. And he chips it off the half board, sends it all the way down. And Chicago still just cannot get anything set up in their offensive side of the ice. Nice job by the Buccaneers. Back the other direction, cleared it out again. Chicago still picked it up in front of their own goaltender, played up through center ice. Ready to get it to Franken. Dyer with it. Walks it right in. Tips over the stick of the Chicago Steel player. Was not able to get the shot off. 7:22 left in the first period. And the Buccaneers kill off that penalty. Shot on net. Weiland with the save. And the Bucs clear it out all the way down into the Chicago Steel.
There's a Steel player hurt down to our right. It looks to be Schultz, I do believe. Or no, it's number 14, Luke Gockler. Injured down on our right. I didn't quite see what happened.
I didn't quite see it either. I was looking, following the play coming back the other way.
But he is really favoring that left leg, which is not something good to. No, that is not good at all. He is in some significant pain, and I didn't get a good look at it, but he was laying down right to Max Weiland's left, and he was on that rebound chance in close. So I wonder if he came down. Yeah, he's in pain.
Yeah, he's going to go right to the. Well, not right to the locker room. That's the opposite direction for their locker room, but he's going to go in the tunnel right below us.
So that's not good to see at all. No, significant pain, and we hope he's all right.
Yeah, we'll see if he goes back across the ice straight to the locker room. Buccaneers with offensive face-off here. 7:06 left of the first period. Buccaneers up 1-0. Searles with the face-off to the stick side of the Steel goaltender. Buccaneers win the face-off. Played on the near boards. Couldn't hang on to it. And here comes the Bucs. Chasing after the Steel, coming back the other way. And nice defense by the Buccaneers. And Chicago Steel gets a shot on that. Weiland with the save. 6:53 left in the first.
A great sliding play defensively to take away the pass. You know, if you're in that position, you either force them to take a shot and you take away the pass, or you go in hard on the player with the puck and try to force them to pass there. So the diving effort to stop the pass and run cross and is successful, and Wyoming snags it out of the air.
Buccaneers changing it up. Late change up there for the Buccaneers. Who roll off with the face-off for the Buccaneers. Mountain, Minnesota. Headed to University of St. Thomas at some point in his career. Buccaneers went it all the way up through center ice. Played to the far side, right-hand side. Tipped in front. Save by the still goaltender. Agents with it for the Chicago Steel. He dumps it down into the Buccaneers' defensive side of the ice. Davenport picks it up in behind his own goaltender. Kroll has it down below the goal line, up through center ice. Norcross with it. Buccaneers play it off the end boards, down below the goal line. Ori to the far side. Fires a shot, just goes wide of the goaltender. And Chicago still not able to clear it as the Buccaneers keep it in at the blue line. Davenport kept that in. The Buccaneers making a line change. Tyler comes off the bench. Zelensky. Chicago still with it to the far side. Trying to wrap it around, and Zelensky just about got goal number 2, but the goaltender for Chicago still with a save.
A good save by Sherrod, able to get from his left to his right quick. See that Zelensky's going for the wraparound chance, and if he was just a half second later, that might have gone in. That was a close one. He was looking behind him for a second there, but good save. And I took a look to see what happened to Luke Gockler, and him and Thomas Mikkel they came together, and Gockler fell over awkwardly on his left leg, so we hope he's okay. And we'll keep an eye to see if he does return for tonight's game for the Chicago Steel.
Here comes Chicago Steel back the other way. Schultz with it down in the Buccaneers' defensive side of the ice. Picked off at the high slot. The Buccaneers up out of the zone with it. On the left-hand side, Zelensky dumps it all the way down. Right out in front. Couldn't pull the trigger. At the blue line, kept in. Nice job. Back and forth. Tyler tried to get a shot off. Couldn't do it. Over to the far side. Ori with it. Hard hit on the half boards. Cal still there. Will chip it up out of the zone. Back the other way down to the Buccaneer end of the rink. Right out front. Pace with it. Right out. Across the blue paint, and the Buccaneers able to keep that wide. Randall with it for the Bucks. Zelensky dumps it down in deep. Chicago still picks it up in behind their own goaltender. Played up through the neutral zone. 4:33 left in the first period. Good crowd here tonight, Eliza. Like the standing room only. You can wrap it around the whole building up here, and good to see. Buccaneers with it. Across the blue line down their offensive side of the ice. Wallen with it. Fires a shot on net and save. And the Buccaneers are going to get an offensive face-off. Charles with the save.
Yeah, Wallen, the puck's bouncing around, good hand-eye coordination to be able to find it within all those bodies right there in the slot and get a whack on it. And Sherrod, another good save. You know, the Buccaneers 8 shots on net so far. The Steel only have 3. So the Buccaneers definitely have been there offensively so far tonight, and Sherrod's had to help with some good saves.
Buccaneers with the face-off. Luke Norcross with the face-off for the Buccaneers. Los Angeles, California kid, headed to Western Michigan University. Buccaneers lose the face-off. Chicago still pick it up, right up through center ice, across the blue line. Tried to chip it in. Nice defensive play by Kroll. Sends it off into the corner. Buccaneers pick it up in behind their own goaltender, Weiland. To the near side, Argentina with it, left-hand side, brings it in offensive zone for the Buccaneers. Back to the far side. Chicago Steel picks it up off the half boards. And here comes Chicago Steel, full head of steam up to center ice. Kroll chasing after it. Picks it up in behind Weiland. To the near side. Loose puck. Thurl's in there trying to dig it out for the Bucks with Kroll. The Buccaneers do dig it off the half boards. Buccaneers out shooting the Chicago Steel 8-3. And sorry, folks, puck's left the playing surface. Eliza, when we are going back and forth, I think the Buccaneers are outplaying Chicago Steel just by a hair. But the Buccaneers are getting the more of the scoring opportunities on their offensive side of the ice.
The Buccaneers doing a good job at stopping the Steel from getting clearances out of their own zone. They're able to hold the line really well. I think of Keaton Ori in particular just a couple shifts ago. Just a workhorse there on the blue line to keep it in, and just helping him out so far.
Randall with it at the blue line. He kept it in. Dyer plays it for the Steel. Back up to the neutral zone. Roney tips it back to Randall. Buccaneers turn and burn, come back the other way. Down on the offensive side of the ice. Couldn't keep it in. Chicago Steel never did get it out, I guess. And now they do. Back up to Randall. Chips it off the high glass. Comes the Buccaneers up through center ice. They dump it in. They're going to make a line change. Deladonna off the bench. Thorpe. Dillinger out there too for the Buccaneers. McKell out there too for the Buccaneers. 2:14 remaining in the first period. And it gets tipped up out of the zone or out of the off the glass, out onto the feet. Got tipped by a Chicago Steel player. So the play stays down in the Buccaneers offensive side of the ice. Wallen with the face-off for the Buccaneers. Played to the near side by Thorpe. Dillinger in there too. Deladonna down in deep. Back to Thorpe. Keeps it tight. Dillinger with him. Here comes the Bucks up out of the zone. All the way down on the Buccaneer defensive side of the ice. Thorpe has it in behind his own goaltender. Played to the near side. Back and forth. Dillinger chasing after it for the Bucks to the far side. Wallen picks it up, looking for an open guy. Fires a shot, tipped in front. Off the high glass. Good play. Buccaneers with it to the near side on the left-hand corner. Chicago still up out of the zone. Schultz with it, dumps it down in deep. Davenport with it for the Bucks over to Thorpe. In behind Weiland. Tylick in there too on the right-hand side. Buccaneers come up with it. To the near side to Thorpe. Back up to Tylick. 1 minute remaining in the first period. Seems like a long first period. Buccaneers pick it up in behind Chicago Steel. Goaltender back out in front. Try to get a shot off. Backhanded shot just goes high and wide off the shoulder of the goaltender. Buccaneers working it down in deep. Still picking off. Try to clear it out of the zone. Buccaneers keep it in, or he does. Nice shot and deflected right out in front. Shot save. And the Buccaneers almost made it a 2-0 hockey game there on a couple of good scoring opportunities. Tyler with it. Chicago Steel with it, playing it off the inboards. Sent over to the far side, and the puck comes free all the way up through the neutral zone. 5 seconds remaining in the first period. And that's going to do it. After one period of play, it's the Buccaneers 1, Chicago Steel 0. Shots on net, 9 for the Buccaneers, 3 for Steel. Power play goal by the Buccaneers. Joseph Martina with the power play goal for the Buccaneers.
Yeah. Argentina scoring on the power play. No, Rylan Randall, Blake Zielinski with the assist, but on that final shift of the game there by the Buccaneers, some fantastic opportunities. You know, Shara had to be on top of his head, and the Steel defense, they were just giving up pucks, not really getting to the Buccaneers as quick as they should have, and the Bucs had plenty of looks, and that could have easily been a 2-0 game heading into the first intermission, but Buccaneers not able to get it past Shara, and right now 1-0 after one, like you mentioned, Tony, 9-3 shots in favor of the Buccaneers, and rather dominant first period for the Bucs.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here. Liza and I will be back with second period action in about 15 minutes. Thanks for listening to Des Moines Buccaneer Hockey on YouTube and watching on Flow Sports. Right. Welcome back to Moines Buccaneer Hockey, live on Flow Sports and live on YouTube. Second period action just about underway here for the Buccaneers as both teams come out to the ice. The lights are up 1-0. We're kind of talking about that first period action and talking to some of the fans walking by. And we'll see what the second period brings. But the Buccaneers look pretty good in that first period. One for one on the power play and 0 for 1 on the 1 for 1 on the penalty killer, however you want to look at it.
Yeah,
And I love how quick the lights come on here compared to the old Bucks Arena. So
the Buccaneers looking to keep this going. The last thing you'd want is the second period to start when you lose all your momentum that you had, especially with the ending you had in that first period. Just relentless effort there on Shara. He had to come up big for them for the steal. So if you're the Bucks, you want to keep that pressure going, and whatever you did in the first period, do the exact same thing. No changes should be made. If you're the Steel, you'll expect some changes to be made. A little bit of a response that you had one of their players, Luka Guckler, get hurt with, and he was in some serious pain. So we'll have to keep an eye. I haven't seen him.
Yeah, and I didn't see him go by. I didn't pay attention when the kid skated off, but I don't.
Yeah, but
he might have taken his skates off in the tunnel here and just walked around, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, so. The Buccaneers, they've been aggressive. They've been hitting hard. They've been chasing the puck. They just really kind of bullied the Steel around so far in that first period. So you'd expect a response of some sort, especially with, Scott Gomez behind the bench for the Steel. He had NHL experience, a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. He knows how to win. So you would expect a little bit of a pushback here. So the Bucks need to keep up what they were doing in that first period and hopefully enter the second period enter the second intermission with a lead.
Buccaneers wearing their red jerseys, 45th edition jerseys. Going to your right on the screen, Chicago Steel wearing their typical white-black jerseys. Going to your left on the screen. Doesn't seem like Chicago Steel. I mean, we said we haven't seen them very much. Probably only played them 7 times in 5 years, but I don't ever remember the Chicago Steel changing up their jerseys very much. Puck goes all the way down to the Buccaneer in the rink. Widen with it for the Buccaneers. He leaves it there on the inboards. Davenport in there trying to dig it out for the Bucks. The Bucks bring it out to the far side. Behind the goaltender Weiland. Back out through center ice. It comes, and Chicago Steel pick it off at the blue line. Davenport has it for the Bucks. On the near side. Chips it all the way down. Tyler chasing after it for the Bucks. Played to the far side. Steel plays it off the half board. Nice pressure by the Buccaneers. At the blue line. Back and forth. Walking right out in front. Shara with the save for the Chicago Steel, 1906 of the second.
Good backhander shot right there, and close in front to cut to the net. And Shara, he has had a lot of stops so far tonight, with the pads and the 5-hole especially. The Bucks have been trying to go between the legs on him. It's not worked thus far.
Deladonna with the face-off for the Buccaneers. Easton Pace with the face-off for the Chicago Steel to the stick side. Shara. Deladonna wins the face-off, draws it back to the point. Buccaneers just chip it down in D. Chicago Steel plays it off the half board. Just about went out of play. All the players kind of looking up in the lights, seeing where the puck went. Puck goes all the way down the Buccaneer in the rink. Chicago Steel picks it up off the half board. Back to the near side. Deladonna plays it to the far side off the inboards. And the Buccaneers able to bring it up out of the zone. Sealing through with it for the Buccaneers. Couldn't hang on to it. Pace comes back with it for the Steel. Play to the near side. Got out the high glass. Wallen has it for the Bucks. Sent to the far side. Here comes the Buccaneers into the zone. Couldn't do anything with it. Chicago Steel picks it up across the blue line, left-hand side, right-hand side. Back to the point. To the near side, high slot, fires it off the goaltender's Weiland's shoulder and off into the protected end. 18:03 of the second.
You know, well, the Steel haven't had a lot of offensive opportunities tonight. I know you said Easton Pace's name quite a bit so far. He just had that shot there for the Steel and tried to go top corner on the near side while it had to shoulder it off. Good save there, testing him early.
To the far side, Theo Kiss with it off the end board. Off the half board. Back to the blue line. Tips it all the way down in deep. Chicago Still pick it up to the near side. Millet with it for the Still to the far side. Thorpe in there with the Buccaneers. Back out to Millet. Played by Kiss. And here comes the Buccaneers up out of the zone across the blue line. Down into the Chicago Steel defensive side of the ice. And we're going to get a penalty on the Buccaneers.
Searles heading to the box. That's a second penalty tonight.
Yep, second penalty for Searles tonight. And the goaltender's out of the net for the Chicago Steel. Played to the near side. Paul Beck has it for the Steel. Here comes Chicago Steel up out of the zone. Extra attacker out there. The Buccaneers touch it. Ori touches it up for the Buck.
It'll be a hold on Searles as the Buccaneers head to the penalty kill. The Hickman Door Services penalty kill for the second time tonight. They were able to kill it off with ease the first time. A really good penalty kill for the Buccaneers, looking to replicate that. But if you're the Steel, I'm sure changes will be made. And well, I guess only time will tell.
Face off to the stick side of the island. Deladonna out there for the Buccaneers. Roll out there for the Buck. And the Buccaneers trying to clear it out. Hollebeck keeps it in for the Chicago Steel. Working it down in deep. Play to the near side. And the Buccaneers pick it off. Short-handed try coming back the other way on the right-hand side. Got a guy cutting. And Tyler brings it all the way down. Plays it in the corner. Kills off a little bit of this penalty. Back out through center ice. Argentina, full head of steam coming back the other way. Gets back into the zone. Played to the near side. Tyler with it for the Bucks. At the blue line. Kroll on the left-hand side. Colin Beck with it for the Chicago Steel. Played to the far side. Off the half boards and still couldn't keep it in. Puck comes free. And something's happened to the penalty clock over there. It did not start. Fires a shot on net, goal, and it doesn't matter now. It's Chicago Steel tied up on a power play goal. 16:08 left in the second period, and not sure why the penalty clock did not ever start over there, but I'm sure they'll work it out. But Chicago Steel make it a 1-1 hockey game.
Yeah, 2-on-1 in close. Crowder gets the power play goal, so the Buccaneers went 11 straight penalties in a row, able to kill him off, but not this one, as the Steel on the 2-on-1 in close get the goal and tie the game at 1.
Face-off center ice. Buccaneers win the face-off. They throw it to the far side. Down on the Buccaneers' offensive side of the ice. Crowder with the goal for the Chicago Steel. Schultz with the assist.
3:52 of the second period.
3:52 of the second period. Power play goal for the Black or for the Steel. Buccaneers with it up through center ice. Played to the near side. Roney with it across the blue line. Back to Searles. Couldn't hang on to her. Here comes Chicago Steel up out of the zone. Crowder with it for the Steel. Walks it right out in front and couldn't get a shot off. Schultz plays it to the far side. The Buccaneers pick it up off the end boards. Two players collide. They rolled on top of each other a couple of times before both got back to their skates. And Harper Searles was on the bottom of that roll. Sent over to the far side. Theo Kiss with it. Keeps it in at the blue line. Played to the near side. Rory with it for the Buccaneers. Right-hand side. Walks it right out in front. Couldn't get a shot off. Here comes Chicago Steel up out of the zone. Up through center ice. Buccaneers play it. Schmel on the far side. Now on the near side. Chamel trying to dig it out off the board. Chicago still chip it in front. Could get a shot off. Play to the far side. Still pick it up on the right-hand corner. The hash marks. Kent's with it. Kent works it around to the far side. Chicago still get a shot on that. It's going to be another penalty, I do believe, on the Buccaneers. 14:29 left in second period. I think the Bucs are going to the third.
Timeout on the ice.
Penalty kill. Yes, they are. Theo Kiss into the penalty box on a Hicklin door service penalty kill.
Well, let's take a look real quick at the goal the Steel just scored, and it's actually a line change that kind of cursing the Bucks here. So the puck gets cleared out, not all the way, but they go for a line change here. And 3 players are able to get off the ice, but the Steel hurry it right back up the other way. That's how they get that 2-on-0 pretty much in close and are able to feed it across the Crowder to score. We back this up just a little bit more. You'll see it one more time. The Bucks go for a line change that Kroll's not able to get off, so he's left stranded out there. He's tired and just not able to get back and recover in time, and the Steel take advantage of that, and they end up scoring. That was Jackson Crowder, and he tied the game up at 1, and now the Steel with another power play opportunity, the third of the night. They just capitalized not that long ago, so we'll see if the Bucks are able to kill this one off.
Well, there we go. They are kind of waiting on the ice searching crew, the girls that come out and scrape the ice with the shovels. Couldn't get the door open, Eliza. Face off to the glove side, Weiland. Marco Shores with the face off for the Buccaneers. Schultz with the face off for the Steel.
13 PO hits. 2 minutes for slashing.
It's going to be a slash call for Kiss.
Shot
Shot goal from the point on the far side of Weiland. And that just, when Liza, when you get to do that replay, go to the overhead shot on that. It just barely got into the pipe and went in. A nice eye by the referee to see that went in. The Buccaneers very quickly, just like up at Waterloo, find themselves short end of the stick here on the second power play goal here for the Chicago Steel.
You know, good things happen when you win the face-off, and the Steel are able to win the face-off, have possession of the puck, and they just get a nice shot from Ashton Schultz right near that right circle, and he just snipes it on Wiley. Yeah. Hard to stop. A really well-placed shot. He was given time and space to load up and fire, and the Buccaneers find themselves down.
Face off to the glove side of Weiland. Owen Tyler with the face off. University of Notre Dame kid. Schultz with the goal. Blackhawks pick it up, bring it back the other way across the center ice line down into the Buccaneers. The ice. Davenport with for the Bucks. Hard hit there at the top of the circle. The Buccaneers pick it up on the left-hand side of the ice, up through center ice. Tyler gets a stick on it, couldn't hang on to it. He gets it right back. Back and forth it goes. Neither team can get control of it. Now the puck goes all the way down into the ring. Able to bring it up. Carlton with it for the Steel come in offside.
Well, let's take a look at the goal here. So you'll see it'll be a face-off win there for the Steel. And watch how quick this is. It gets right there to Schultz on the circle, down low, and it's right back up, and a quick shot that goes in. Just not able to close the gap fast enough.
Shot. Yeah, you can see the net there. I thought maybe it went off the pipe. I still think it ringed off the pipe a little bit.
Just a rifle shot there.
That's a good word for it, a rifle. Snipe shot. 13:30 left in the second, down by 1. Played to the far side. The Buccaneers pick it up at the blue line across center ice. Down into the Steel into the ring. Off the half boards to the blue line. Puck comes free. Here comes Steel up out of the zone. Stayed on sides. Walks all the way in. Shot on net. Goal. And the Buccaneers down by 2 as the Chicago Steel on a backhanded shot gets it around Weiland. 13:05 in the second period.
Easton Pace shows off his speed there, and that's, once again, 3 quick goals. We saw it last game, and in about 3.5 minutes, and tonight another instance where 3 quick goals right here in the second period for the Steel this time, and just gets it around Wyatt. A good individual effort there by Easton Pace to get that goal in, but oh man, that is a tough break for the Buccaneers.
Weiland leaves it in behind his own net. Play to the far side. And that goes up into protect the netting and out of play. 12:50 of the second period. Warlock with the face-off for the Bucs. Gets kicked out of the face-off circle. Luke Norcross in there for the Buccaneers. Wins the face-off. They draw it back behind to Thorpe. Argentina chips it off the high glass up through center ice. Down into the Steel inner. Rolled off chasing after it. Argentina back out to the high slot. Fires a shot. And shot on net. Raw with the save. 12:35 to the second.
Take a quick look at this goal by the Steel, the third goal in this period, and just quick speed there, getting to the inside, picks up his own rebound, able to bury it there, and it's just a great solo effort there by Easton Pace. And the Steel have all the momentum in the world right now. The Buccaneers need to find a way to stop the bleeding somehow as soon as possible and get themselves back into this game. It's only a 2-goal game, but it doesn't feel like it right now. It feels like it's a lot more than that.
Thurles with the face-off for the Buccaneers. Here comes the Blacks. Here comes Still back up through center ice. Play to the far side. Schultz with it. Off the far boards. And here comes the Buccaneers up through center ice. Across the blue line. Down and deep. Deal kiss. Couldn't hang on to it. Still back the other way, fast-paced so far here in the second period. Davenport off the far boards. Trolling behind his own goaltender, Weiland. Back up through center ice. Fires a shot, tipped in front, and all the way up high in the protected netting. We get a offensive face-off here for the Buccaneers. 11:48 left in the second.
So the time of those goals, so the first goal, the Jackson Crowder power play goal, came at 3:56 of the second, and then Ashton Schultz, his snipe, came at 5:40, and then the Eastern Pace goal came at 6:55. So it's 3 goals in just under 3 minutes. So a very rough stretch for the Buccaneers, and they need to find some life here.
Buccaneers winning the face-off. Top of the circle, and here comes Chicago Steel up out of the zone. Able to pick it off. Charlton chasing after it. Gets back to Weiland. And fires a shot. Just about a 4-0 hockey game there. Weiland got a toe on it. And the Chicago Steel are buzzing right now down on the Buccaneers' defensive side of the ice. 11:20 left in the second. Kind of like we saw up in Waterloo. Shot on net. Weiland with the save. Go pushing and shoving after the whistle. Chamel and Dyer out there. Go pushing and shoving after the whistle. Signature out there for the Bucks on the line change. Deladonna, Ori, Thorpe, Wallen out there for the Bucks. The Buccaneers change up the whole line there. Defensive face-off here for the Bucks.
Yeah, so far this period, the Buccaneers have only 1 shot compared to the Steel's 5. So a complete flip of the script here in between the first and second period.
Ori with the buck to the far side of Thorpe. Chips it down into the Steel into the ring. Deladonna chasing after, going to beat the Chicago Steel to the puck. Wallen with it, fires a shot. And Chicago Steel goaltender gets a save. Hurrah with the save.
Yeah, and to the point I was just making, the Buccaneers haven't had the offensive opportunities they had in the first period. It's been all Chicago thus far, and it starts with the face-off win. That's how the two power play goals were scored. They were scored off of face-off wins and good zone pressure by the Steel. So the Buccaneers, if they want to respond, they got to do that exact same thing.
Deladonna with the face-off to the left side. Farad. Dillinger in the corner, right-hand side, off the half forward. Right out front, Deladonna fires a little wrist shot off the shin pad to Kintz. Chicago still bringing up out of the zone. 2-on-2 coming back the other way. Thorpe turns, plays it off the inboard to the far side. Chips it off the high glass. Up through the neutral zone. Ball over to play it for the Bucks. Chicago still walks it in. Deladonna takes it away. To the far side, chips it up through center ice. Signature has it for the Bucks. Couldn't hang on to it. Back up through the neutral zone. Pace has it. Sends it all the way down. Chicago still make a line change. Or he sets up in behind his own goaltender. Back to the near side. To Thorpe. Buccaneers just can't get anything going here. It comes back to the other way. And just not enough steam. Not enough legs there for the Bucks to turn and burn. And Weiland's just going to cover it up. Buccaneers with defensive face-off and immediate timeout here. 9:57 left in the second period, 3-1 hockey game.
You know, the Buccaneers very lucky right now that that puck was off the stick and right to Weiland, because that would have been a clean breakaway for the Chicago Steel, which could have made it a 4-1 game. And the defense were just caught puck watching and allowed the Steel player to get a clean look in. And we saw that a whole lot last season. And you know, Eric Damon right now has all the Buccaneers rounded up to our right around the bench, and he is yelling, and he has every right to. That's 3 goals and a 259 for the Chicago Steel, and 2 power play goals, 1 even strength, and the Steel are as content as can be right now. But the Blackhawks need to get, or the Buccaneers need to be getting things going and try to turn this around.
Like Jackson, you said Blackhawks.
I know.
You just think when you see Chicago out there, you think, and I listened to a Blackhawks podcast on the way here today. Listen to Jeff Blasher talk there. So
You feel a little mixed up.
you just kind of roll off the Blackhawks off your tongue there when you see Chicago Steel. Luke Gilcross with a face-off for the Buccaneers. Goals for the Steel. And it didn't help us much, Eliza. We had a guy standing here during the intermission, and we were talking NHL hockey. The Blackhawks got brought up a couple of times there when we were talking to that young gentleman. And it's all in fun. Norcross with it for the Buccaneers, played by Argentina all the way down. Shot on net, Steele's goaltender. Farah with a save. Back the other direction, all the way up through center ice, across the center ice line. Tried to get it to Schultz. Buccaneers forced the turnover and come back the other way. Argentina with it now. He brings it in the right-hand side. Who walks it all the way in. Shot on net. Saved by Sherrod. Back up through center ice. Two Chicago Steel players. Fly, breakaway, come back the other way. Shot on net. Save. Sorrells. Lucky man there. Right spot, right time as the puck came right to him, and he was in behind everybody.
A sloppy play by the Steel, ran into each other and gave Searles a perfect opportunity, and it's been a little bit of a rough game for him. He's had 2 penalties, and he's on the ice for that most recent Chicago goal, and he would have had a perfect opportunity there to make it a 1-goal game, but not able to, as Shiraz owns him.
Back to the far side at the blue line. 2-3 kiss, now to the near side. Still pick it up off the half boards. 8:40 left in the second period. Buccaneers out shooting Chicago Steel 14-8. We're down by 2. In the corner, trying to dig it out. I'm not sure who's in there. That's a tough area for us to see. Still comes up with it to the far side, right up through center ice. Across the blue line, fires it down in deep. Play to the near side. To the far side. Bouncing puck loose. No one really can get control of it. Now the Buccaneers chipping up out of the zone, right up through the neutral zone at the blue line. And the Buccaneers come in offsides. 7:54 of the second period. Talk about tomorrow night's game rematch here between the Chicago Steel and the Buccaneers. 6:05 face-off kids night here. There's a lot of kids here tonight. You would think tonight's kids night, but kids night tomorrow night. Plenty of tickets available. Go to BuccaneersHockey.com and pick up your tickets. And I do believe it's Fireball night tomorrow night. Or maybe that's tonight, Eliza. I'm not sure. I think it's tomorrow night. Goes all the way down. Will still pick it up on the near side. Back out to center ice. Or he plays it. He spins around. Keeps control of it. Plays to the near side. Zielinski for the Bucks. Gets it down to Tylik. Off the inboards. Right out front. Zielinski with it. Fires it wide. To the near side. Off the inboards. Works down the right-hand side. He chasing after it to the far side. Chicago still not able to get it out yet. Belladonna putting the pressure on Kemp's. Kemp's turns, fires it up the near side. And here comes Chicago Steel trying to get a shot off. Not blocked by the Buccaneers. Here comes the Buccaneers back the other way, all the way up through center ice. Down into the Chicago Steel into the rink. To the far side, still pick it up across the blue line, cutting towards the net. Shot saved by Weiland. Off the inboards, centering pass, Wallen breaks it up. Buccaneers, Thorpe has it, sends it to the far side. All the way up through center ice, down into the Chicago field of the rink. Still pick it up in behind Sherrod. Back out to center ice, roll with it. Fires it right back in. Off the high glass. Played to the near side. Down and deep. Belladonna down in the defensive side of the ice. Plays it off the inboard. Brings it up out of the zone. Played to the near side. Back out to Kroll. Kroll fires it to the left-hand side. Steering pass got broken up. Intended for roll-off from Norcross. Puck went out of play. I was trying to figure out where it went, Eliza. I was looking up. I never saw it drop.
You know, not much action since that goal by the Steel. Just a couple chances back and forth, but it's been no domination by either team. Each team has had some good looks so far, but Buccaneers need to keep things going. 5:40 left in the second period. Down 2 goals after they enter this period, up 1-0.
Fires a shot that goes wide out to the far side. Burrows with it off the inboards. The Buccaneers, Steel Kiss comes up with it left-hand side, gets tripped up.
They
And
get
the
a penalty.
Buccaneers going to be on the power play here as Chicago Steel touches the puck. 5:15 of the second period. Buccaneers going to be on the Mid-America Energy power play.
Second power play of the night for the Buccaneers. 1-for-1 so far.
Well, this is to be a good start for the Buccaneers, trying to make a comeback here. Get a power play goal here and get it within 1.
You know, we saw Argentina get that goal for the Buccaneers earlier, and he is out on the ice right now. He is to the left of Zidlicki. Zielinski, Tylik on the ice. We have Argentina. I can't quite see who that is on the left. His numbers are all rolled up. I assume it's Randall.
And did not get a face off there. Didn't even drop it. They act like they dropped it. And it looks like he's got the penalty clock fixed. It's running on the half boards. That was a tripping call on the Chicago Steel. Shorthand try coming back the other way. Play to the left-hand side. They stay on the side. Kemps fires it down in deep. Randall picks it up for the Bucks. Back to the far side. Chips it all the way down, and Chicago still in the ring. Tyler chasing after it, but the goaltender for Chicago still. Sherrod is going to cover it up.
Well, for the Chicago Steel, Luke Ockler, big part of their penalty kill, and he, of course, left in the first period with a leg injury, and he has not returned. And he's one of 4 players in the USHL with a shorthanded goal entering tonight's game. So, a big piece of their penalty kill gone. The Bucks looking to take advantage of that.
Buccaneers win the face-off draw back to Randall. Randall chips it in the corner right-hand side. Zelensky with it for the Bucks. Fires it off the goaltender's shoulder, and it comes all the way up. Wraps it around the glass and down into the Buccaneers' defensive side of the ice. Bucks pick it up in behind their own goaltender. Zelensky up through center ice, across the blue line. Puck comes free. Chicago still clears it. Just under a minute remaining in the power play here for the Buccaneers. Randall has it down in the defensive side of the ice. Drops it back. Signature with it for the Buccaneers. Almost a collision there with Theo Kidd. Buccaneers bring it down the offensive side of the ice. Signature with it. Walks it in. Dang it. Couldn't hang on to it. Still clears it out. Or he picks it up for the Buccaneers in behind Weiland. Right up through center ice. To the left-hand side. 16 seconds left on the power play here for the Buccaneers. Played on the near side. Ori. Singleton. Back to Singleton. To Ori. Back and forth. Working at the top of the circle. Send over to the far side. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Theo Kiss with it. Plays it off the far boards. Down in deep, the Buccaneers making a line change. Roll comes off the bench, keeps it in on the short side. Chicago School is able to bring it up out of the zone, right up through center ice, across the blue line, dumps it down in deep. Roll chasing after it for the Buccaneers. Played to the far side. Now tripped up out of the zone at the blue line. Across the blue line, Ori with it for the Bucks. Sends it across the far side to Deladonna. Back out to the blue line. Buccaneers need to get some shots on net. A lot of passing in the zone. No real quality shots. Ori with it down below the blue line. Not able to hang on to it. Here comes the Blackhawks out of the zone. Fires a shot on net. Saved by Weiland. And I think he made it save, but that trickled through his arm. Shot on net. Goal! Yeah, baby, yeah, baby, yeah. The Buccaneers making a 3-2 hockey game.
Oh, man. Keaton Ori was getting into it with one of the Blackhawks players right here around center ice, and it caused the Buccaneers to have a 2-on-1. And I believe that was Kazda. He was turning around looking at the referee asking, hey, come on, we have one of our guys getting tangled up here, and led right to a Buccaneers goal, and I do believe that was Harper Searles.
I think it was, but it happened so quick. I think my eyes were focused on, like you were saying, what was going on in the other part of the ice, and he just went down, just fired a little wrist shot and sniped it in. And the Buccaneers find themselves some life here in the second period, down by 1.
Crucial goal. Crucial time to get on the board. Give yourself a 1-goal deficit instead of 2 getting late here in the second period.
And the Buccaneers was just struggling to get any shots on net and able to get that one on. Look at the official goal here as soon as we hear. Buccaneers with it. Thorpe in behind his own goaltender over to Zelensky. Backhanded shot by the Steel. Just went wide of Weiland. Thorpe in there trying to dig it out. Zelensky down in there too. Now Tylett. Tylett's able to chip it up out of the zone all the way down to Chicago Steel, defensive side of the ice. And Chicago Steel plays it to the far side, chips it off the far boards. And Weiland, boy, you played that puck again. Roloff has it for the Buccaneers. scares me when Wyland plays that puck in behind his own net. The Buccaneers bring it in here. Shot on net, save, toe save by Ra. Back out through the center. Marco Sorrell's first goal of the season. Coming back the other way. The Buccaneers with a shot on net. Shot save again. And the Buccaneers just about have the third goal of the evening. And nice save by Shara. Back out through center ice. 30 seconds remaining. To the far side, off the half boards. Mel with it for the Buccaneers. To the near side. Here comes the Majors with it for the Still. On the left-hand side. Hard hit by Ori. And Ori lost his stick. He's going to be a penalty on the Buccaneers. Dang it.
Keaton Ori going to the box. I do believe it'd probably be a rough.
Yeah,
Yep.
he lost his stick. And
Yeah, WWE move on him.
yeah, he did.
That's the third penalty the Buccaneers have taken this period. There's been 2 power play goals this period by the Chicago Steel, and Buccaneers on the PK once again. The Hick Lindor service penalty kill. But Ori just frustrated there, took his man out. The Bucks had a fantastic opportunity, and Chira with a fantastic save. He stayed with it, stretched out that left pad to stop the rebound chance from going in. Just the Bucks didn't have enough real estate to get that past.
Harper Swirls with the face-off for the Buccaneers. 8 seconds remaining in the second period. Still win the face-off. They're all to the far side. Buccaneers tie it up against the half boards and able to clear it out. Buccaneers will find themselves with 1:52 remaining in the penalty for the Buccaneers when we start the third period. I think Elijah's got that second goal on the replay.
Yes, I do. So I wanted to start this a little bit early. Now, right up at the blue line, we have Keaton Ori and we have Timo Costa. Now, you'll see, ignore where the puck goes. Just watch Keaton Ori and Costa right there. They come together right there at center ice, and they stay locked up. The referee tries to get them to break apart from each other, and this leads to no one being back, and the Buccaneers cross to Searles, and just kind of a nothing wrister through the 5-hole of Shara, where they've been really going for all game, and that gave the Buccaneers a little bit of life there at the end of the period. They almost tied it up, a fantastic opportunity, but the Buccaneers are going to have 1 minute and 52 seconds of penalty to clear off before we get to even strength in this third period. So Buccaneers, a little bit of work put ahead of them, but still within arm's reach.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here. Be back in about 15 minutes, third period hockey. Thanks for listening to Des Moines Buccaneer Hockey on YouTube and watching on Flow Sports. All right, back to the Des Moines Buccaneer hockey. Just under 5 minutes remaining in intermission here. The Buccaneers find them down by 1. But boy, my gosh, look at the shots on that, 17-8.
Yeah, rough second period there for the Bucks. You know, at one point shots were in favor of the Seal, 5-1 in that second period, but the Bucks kind of reeled it back in towards the end, and shots were 5-8 in favor of the Buccaneers. At the end of that second period, right now it's 17-8 in favor of the Bucks, but that's not important because they are currently down 3-2, and they have 1:52 to kill on the Ori penalty that happened there at the end of the period. So rough second period again for the Bucks. It's back-to-back games where they've allowed 3 goals in around 3 minutes time, and they helped cut into that a little bit with Harper Searles scoring on that 2-on-1 with Luke Norcross, and kind of a weird play. Norcross tried to feed it over to Searles, didn't get a lot on it. It's kind of a little shove towards Searles, but he is able to rip it 5-hole. Kind of a weird kind of touch goal between Shiraz's legs, and it works out for the Buccaneers and gave them a goal, and now they are only down 1 heading into this period. Well, there are some other games that are going on around the USHL. Let's take a look at those. Let's start from the bottom up here. Madison at home playing the National Development Team, up 5-1 after 2. The Fighting Saints keeping it close with the Omaha Lancers. It's 2-1 Fighting Saints over Omaha, end of the second. Sioux City and Sioux Falls knotted up at 3 after 2. We have Cedar Rapids up on Lincoln 3-2 after 2. And once again, if Cedar Rapids can pull this victory off, it'll be head coach Mark Carlson's. He'll break the record. He'll break the USHL record for most wins by a coach. So that is certainly a story to keep an eye on to see if the Rough Riders can pull it off and he can get that record. And then lastly, and I guess most importantly, we have Youngstown falling to Muskegon in overtime. Muskegon goes to 5-0 on the season. Youngstown falls to 4-0, 1-0. But there's actually a couple interesting things about this game, I have to say. But one of the most interesting things that happened is everything was going in Youngstown's favor until that third period. The Youngstown Phantoms got outshot 9-7 in that third period. And with less than 1 second left, Jack Christ, the Muskegon Lumberjacks forward, who had a hat trick and the game-winning overtime goal last season in the Clark Cup Finals to win the Clark Cup for the Lumberjacks, ties the game. So 1959, Jack Christ ties this game up, and then Carter Sanderson, with Jack Christ assisting, wins the game for the Lumberjacks in overtime. A fantastic game between those two rivals all the way out east. And then another really cool thing, Jack Hamilton and Anthony Thomas Maroon got into a fight. And what's cool about that is Anthony Thomas Maroon is the son of Pat Maroon, who is behind the bench for the Muskegon Lumberjacks. So being able to watch your own son fight in the USHL, pretty cool thing, I have to say. And they got the win in overtime. So a good night for the Maroon family out in Muskegon. But once again, let's take our focus back onto this game, the Chicago Steel and the Des Moines Buccaneers. Take a quick run through the scoring here. In the first period, it was all Buccaneers, but they entered the first intermission up 1-0. It was Joseph Argentina on the power play. Rylan Randall and Blake Zielinski each picking up their third assists of the season. And then it was all Chicago Steel in that second period. At 3:56, Jackson Crowder from Schultz and Kalbeck on the power play. And then not much later, just about 2 minutes later, Ashton Schultz from Tobias Oman and Marcos Inertia on the power play. And then about a minute later, Easton Pace from James Scantleberry and Colin Sisson gave the Bucks a mountain to climb up. It was a 3-1 Chicago lead. 3 goals in 3 minutes, 2:59 to be exact. And then Harper Searles stops the bleeding in that second period at the 17:48 mark from Luke Norcross to get us where we are now. The penalties so far, we had Marcos Inertia high sticking and Harper Searles roughing in that first period. In the second, Harper Searles holding. Theo Kiss slashing. We had Tobias Omen tripping. And then at the 19:52 mark, Pete Norrie, a bit of a rough. I'd say that would look like a WWE move. He picked them up and kind of threw him down to the ice, and he lost his stick and was a little upset, and it caused the most recent penalty that the Bucks have to kill off, because we have 2:20 remaining before the players enter out. They added time to the clock. I did notice that, Tony.
I wondered. I saw the referees come out, and there was like 5 minutes and 50 seconds left. I'm like, the referees are out here. I gotta ask you, are you WWF fan in there?
I'm not.
You're not.
I'm not.
I tell you a funny one. I worked out at the racetrack down in Knoxville and run the video board down there. Some guy that shows up down there when we have special events, he's on the other side of the glass from me, and that guy, he must be a reporter. I'm not sure what he does. But every time I've seen him down there, he always has WWF on his little iPad next to me. So I haven't watched WWF forever. But I thought maybe you mentioned a couple times, I thought maybe you're a WWF guy.
That's just a textbook,
Yeah.
Pick him up and slam him down.
All right.
That must hurt on the ice. Well, Max Weiland that period, 8 shots on, stumped 5 of the 8. And I know we mentioned this briefly earlier when he was in net against Waterloo and led up those 3 goals at the end of the second period. Luke Hughes got the start in the third period, but it looks like Max Weiland will stay in net. Derek Damon will stick with his goalie, Max Weiland, and he's going to have to be the Buccaneers' best penalty killer here.
Yeah. Well, I think we've had a shorthanded goal this year, haven't we already? Or
Yeah.
maybe that was the preseason one up.
The Buccaneers haven't had one
And we haven't
yet.
had one regular season. I think it was up to Sioux City in the preseason game up there. All right, both teams back out on the ice. Chicago still wearing their white jerseys going to the right on the screen. The Des Moines Buccaneers wearing their red jerseys going to your left on the screen.
Well, the Buccaneers, their first penalty kill of the night was absolutely phenomenal. No chances for the Chicago Steel whatsoever, but then the next 2 they had to kill off ended up in goals against. So back-to-back power play goals for the Chicago Steel, and the Buccaneers, they need to kill really badly here to keep themselves in it.
Harper Searles with the face-off for the Buccaneers. Kroll and Jason Davenport out there for the Bucks, and Nate Deladonna out there for the Bucks.
Looks like a second ran off on the penalty timer. They got to fix that.
That penalty clock over there. It's just I never had to run it. Jeff Hammer has been our clock guy for a lot of years. Did the one at the Bucks Arena, and that was an old analog one. It was pretty easy to run. This one over here is all Digitech. Has a lot of different screens you got to go through the steps to get it to work. So hats off to him for making it work. Still bring it all the way down. The Buccaneer in the rink on the far side. Walks it in left-hand circle at the face-off dot. Now goes Schultz. Right-hand side, top of the high slot. Back over to the left-hand side to the high slot. The Buccaneers just need to get it out, clear it out, kill a little bit more out of it. Shot towards the net, just went wide. Back out to the blue line, play to the right-hand side, top of the circle. Schultz walks it all the way in. Shot on net. Weiland with the save. Back out through center ice. And the puck comes all the way down to the Buccaneer end of the rink. Buccaneers back in action tomorrow night, 6:05 face-off against the same team. Chicago Steel. Right out in front, shot on net again. Weiland with the save. Kids night tomorrow night. Schultz with it. Back out to the blue line, still keeps it in. Fires it all the way down. Schultz again with it. They just keep feeding it to Schultz on the right-hand side. He tries to walk it in, not able to get a shot on net. The Buccaneers clear it out up into the stands. 18:37 left in the third. Buccaneers tomorrow night, 6:05. Kids night, and I just got informed during intermission they are going to have the inflatable jumping, whatever they're called outside.
bouncy houses?
Bouncy houses. That's the word I was looking for. Bouncy houses out in the parking lot for the kids tomorrow night. Should be a good day for it. It's going to be breezy tomorrow, but another warm day. I think it's the last day of warm weather here in the 90s tomorrow. I think Sunday we're supposed to get a front coming through and cool things down. It'll be high in the 70s next week. Buccaneers win the face-off. Walks it around the far side, not able to clear it out. Hell with it. Back up through center ice, down into the Chicago Steel in the rink. Shot on net, save. Chamel. Back out through center ice. And 6 seconds remaining on the penalty kill here for the Buccaneers. And we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. The Buccaneers did a good job killing that penalty off.
Ori went straight to the bench, and Zielinski came out in his spot.
Back over to the Buccaneers, offensive side of the ice. Raw leaves it there. Chicago still picks it up. Through center ice, down into the Buccaneer in the rink. Mel with it. Back to Randall. To the near side. At the blue line. Chicago still cranking. Plays it. Walks it right in. Shot on net. Weiland with the save. And that was a big save for Weiland and the Buccaneers. And they keep it a 3-2 hockey game. Centering pass broken up. Weiland's just going to hang on to it. A little pushing and shoving after the whistle.
Schmiel getting into it right there.
And Tyler.
Tylik against some of his former teammates, maybe. Yeah, that was a turnover by Randall, I do believe, that caused the Steel to get a great chance in tight on Weiland. He had to come up big, shut the door, 5-hole, and kept the Bucks only down 1. That was a big save there. Big stop by Weiland.
Eliza, I don't know if you noticed the young kids to our left. They all got the blue T-shirts on. It says class of 2033.
Man.
It makes me feel old. You're a young kid. Class of 2033. They're wearing T-shirts that say that. That's pretty cool. Randall with it for the Buccaneers. Or Kroll. That was Kroll down there for the Buccaneers. Not able to clear it out. Davenport has it in behind his own goaltender, Weiland. Now just roll. Back to Davenport. Plays it off the end boards. Chicago still doing a good job just keeping it down on the Buccaneers' defensive side of the ice. Back on the near side. The Buccaneers pick it up. Finally chip it up out of the zone. All the way down and still on the ice. And it's not going to make it for icing. Ice is a little bit wet out there, as it's warm in here tonight. And I was told during intermission, too, they got the air conditioner cranked in here, but when it's 90 degrees outside on a October day, it's tough to get it cool in here. Sent over to the far side. The Buccaneers pick it up off the half boards. Chipped off the far side up through center ice. Thorpe chasing after it. And that's going to be waved off. Thorpe has it on the near side. Back up to Theo Kiss. Bring it right up through the neutral zone. Back to Kiss. Walks it around, tries to toe drag it. Could not get a shot off. Sorrells plays it off the far boards. Off the half boards. Now here comes the Chicago field up through center ice. Schultz with it. Now back to Thorpe. Thorpe sets up behind Weiland. Weiland to Thorpe. To the near side. Chicago still bring it back in. Nice hard hit right at the Buccaneer bench. We got 2 players down. And we can't see what's going on because now here we come. Bailey in front of the Buccaneer bench.
Yeah, one of those Steel players went right into Deladonna, hit him up high in the face, and actually that's 4 players down in there. I believe Thorpe and Omen were the initial 2 that went in. It was a big hit right there in front of the Bucks bench. A massive hit, and it stayed down, and maybe, do we have any penalties? We'll see.
Ethan in there too for the steal. And I think I think we're going to skate away with no penalties. Chicago still want the face-off down the Buccaneers' defensive side of the ice. That's what they're talking about.
Not going to get it.
It's going to be the face-off dot in front of the Buccaneers bench. Pace for the Still and Belladonna for the Buccaneers. Buccaneers win the face-off back to Randall. Randall Chamel to Wallen. Wallen paid the price there.
Well, one of the Steel players put their hands on the helmet of Wallen. I believe you can't interfere with the player from the bench. That's a penalty.
Yeah, that should have been a penalty. You're right about that. Nice call there, Eliza. Evidently, the referee didn't see it. Belladonna plays it off the inboards back to Randall. To Belladonna. And Still moves it up out of the zone. Right up through center ice to the left-hand side. Brings it down on the Buccaneers. Defensive side of the ice. Shot on net. And Weiland with the save. Hard hit by Chanel. And immediate timeout here. 14:45 of the third period. 3-2 hockey game.
Yeah, things are starting to heat up between these teams after that little altercation in front of the Buccaneers bench. There's been some hard hitting and some words said between these two teams, and I wonder if it'll keep ramping up from here, if this media timeout will give them a little bit of time to simmer down, but we'll see what happens. And as I brought up a lot last season, I like when there's a little bit of fight, a little bit of chippiness in here. So I guess we'll see what happens. But right now, the most important thing is for the Buccaneers to get a goal to tie this thing up here. That rough second period is still haunting them right now because they are only down 1, but they currently have 0 shots in this period. Chicago with 3, and they did have a power play to start off, but 3 shots to none in favor of the Steel in this period.
Highlight roll. Kaminsky, Davenport. Out there for the Buccaneers. Davenport picked it up off the inboards. Right up through center ice. Here comes the Buccaneers. Full head of steam. Across the blue line. Could not get a shot off. It gets tackled at the end. All the way up through center ice. And down into the Buccaneer. And I think that's going to be icing on the Still. The Buccaneers offensive face-off.
Yeah, great effort there by Adam Zidlicki to try to work on man one-on-one, not able to get a clean look off, but it leads to an icing on the Chicago Steel, giving the Bucks an offensive zone face-off. So big face-off here. Tyler looks like he might take the face-off here, and he will.
Yep, face-off to the stick side. They're off. Still win the face-off. They draw it in behind Sharab. Back up through center ice. Across the blue line down the Buccaneers. Defensive side of the ice. Buccaneers put a poke check on it. Trickles on net. And Weiland makes the save. 14-11. Defensive face-off.
Once again, the Steel seem to be winning a lot of these important face-offs. You know, they ice the puck, win the face-off. During those power plays for the Steel, they would win the face-offs that led to the goals. So currently feels like they're dominating the Buccaneers in the face-off dot so far tonight. So the Buccaneers need to win some of these important face-offs, especially in their own defensive zone. Searleson has to take right here.
Face-off to the glove side of Weiland. Searles with the face-off. Buccaneers win the face-off. Oh, win the face-off. Tried to get it out of the zone. Finally, they do. And dang it, going to take another penalty here on the Buccaneers, and we're going to get an interference call on the Bucks.
I think Kroll's one of the box, and that's a penalty you don't need to take. He knocked a stick out of Kozda's hands, I do believe, and it went way up in the air, and that's just a penalty you don't really need to take.
The Buccaneers beyond another Hickman door service penalty kill.
Now you got to rely on your penalty kill once again. It's the 5th PK of the night for the Buccaneers. 2 for 4 thus far.
Still went to face off, draw back to the blue line. Captain Ryan Poole on the penalty box, 2 minutes for interference.
He's a penalty killer too, so a big loss to the Bucks.
Still plays it on the right-hand side. Schultz out there again. Back to the top side. Shot goes wide. Off the far boards. Roll off trying to get a stick on it. Can't do it. Back out to the right-hand side. Schultz again. Trickles in front off a skate. Redirected. And the Bucks able to clear it all the way down. Length of the ice. Still pick it up in behind their own goaltender, Sherrod. Back up through center ice. Played to the near side. Schultz with it again across the blue line. On the near side. Tipped it up, and that goes into the Buccaneer bench. 13:07 left in third. 1:06 left on the penalty to Kroll for interference. And it's 3-2 hockey game. Favoring the Steel.
About half that penalty killed off so far. 106 from Randy. The Buccaneers need to keep at it. They've gotten some good clears, but a face-off win here and a clear would be very big for the Buccaneers.
Face off to the left side of Weiland. Barbara Thurls with the face off. Pushing and shoving by Davenport. The Buccaneers win the face-off. They draw it to Davenport. Davenport wraps it around the boards and clears it up out of the zone. All the way down to the Still defensive side of the ice. Still picks it up in front of their own goaltender. Back up through center ice. Across the blue line, down and deep. Played to the far side. Searles tried to catch up to it. Couldn't get a stick on it. Deladonna tried to do the same. Now Searles gets it. Short-handed try coming back the other way. Searles over to Deladonna and just behind him on the pass. Deladonna's got to hustle back. He does. Nice back check by Deladonna. Played to the far side. Back up to the top side. Darnell still trying to wrap it down in deep. Nice poke check there in front of the net by Thorpe. Left-hand side. Fires it. Shot. Just goes wide of Weiland. And the Buccaneers able to clear it out. With 10 seconds remaining on the penalty kill for the Buccaneers. Still pick it up in behind their own goaltender. Played to the far side. Up to the neutral zone. Dumps it down into the Buccaneer in the rink. Weiland leaves it there in behind his own net. Wraps it around the high glass. And the Buccaneers back to full strength. Then goes into the Buccaneer bench. 11:55 of the third.
That's another big kill in this third period by the Buccaneers, not allowing themselves to fall down multiple goals. And it looks like they're moving this face-off into the offensive zone here for the Chicago Steel. It was going to be just outside the Buccaneer zone, but now they're moving it down.
Face off in front of the Buccaneers goaltender to the glove side. Buccaneers win the face off. Randall plays it around the board, tries to wrap it around. Send over to the far side. Linsky chasing after it. Off the far board, down into the Chicago Steel in the rink. Buccaneers catch up to it off the end boards. To the far side. Fires a shot on net. Save. Hurrah. Shot again, and the Buccaneers just about tied it up. Randall with a shot on net. Save again, and off the goaltender's mask into the protective netting. And we get an offensive faceoff. 11:16 left in the third.
That was a close one. That shot from the point trickled past Shara. Zidlicki was right there, but not in the right position to whack that in. Close chance for the Bucks, but they did pick up their first shot of the period on that chance there.
Face off to the stick side. Bill's goaltender. Wallen with the face off. Played to the far side. Chicago still picked it up through center ice. Down into the Buccaneer defensive side of the ice. Deladonna with it. 2-on-1 coming back the other way. Wallen with the first shot off Sherrod's shoulder. Back on the near side. Wallen with it. Looking again. Right out in front. Shot. Yeah, baby. Buccaneers making a 3-3 hockey game. 10:52 of the third period.
And that's just what good forechecking does. The Buccaneers pulled it in. Ryan Crowan jumping in. It gets to Wallen, and Wallen and Deladonna just had a 2-on-1 moments ago. Sherrod stops it. This time it doesn't work. Wallen gets it. Deladonna drives to the net on that far post. It gets fed over to him. Wide open net, and the Buccaneers have tied this thing up at even strength.
10:52 remaining in the third. And the Buccaneers win the faceoff. They draw it off the near side. Still pick it off, though. They bring it back the other direction, down into the Buccaneer in the rink. Next goal here is going to be huge for either team. Shot on net, saved by Weiland. 10:37 left in third.
So both these teams are going to change out.
Defensive face-off here for the Buccaneers. And a little powwow there in front of the Buccaneers goaltender. Kroll, the captain for the Buccaneers. Kind of trying to set up the plan there. Harper Searles with the face-off to the right of the goaltender.
It's that near side of fish or linesman that,
Yeah,
oh, that's happened a couple times so far
Yep.
tonight.
just seems like it's got to be perfect. I'm not sure. Played on the near thing. Deladonna with the goal. Shot on net, saved by Weiland.
Well, speaking of Deladonna, let's take a look.
Yeah, let's
and I'm
take a look
back
real
to
quick.
all the way up to the initial 2-on-1. So we have Reese Wallen and Deladonna. The shot goes wide. And watch Kroll. He comes down the boards, and there's two Steel players there, and he still gets it through them both. Wallen to Deladonna out in front leads to the tying goal. And Deladonna, one of the returning Buccaneers, shows his leadership ability. The assistant captain able to tie it up.
Played with a high stick. 10:20 left in the third.
Say the Buccaneers on their second shot of the period have tied things up. So they were sitting at 0 shots for quite some time. They got that first one. They kept it coming. Second shot of the period tied things up. They still only have 2 shots this period. It's 6-2 in favor of Chicago, but the Bucs have the lone goal of this third period.
Chicago still wins the face-off. Bring it down into the Buccaneers. Defensive side of the ice. Right out front. Back to the far side. Fires a shot. This goes wide. Weiland back up through center ice it comes. Chicago still plays it. Long pass up. Icing waved off as it got tipped outside the center ice line. Fires a shot on that save. Ooh, that was a close one there. And another close one. Weiland with 2 great saves, 3 great saves. Weiland seems to be in his groove right now. Nothing's getting by him.
And a penalty on Chicago.
Going to be a penalty on Chicago. 9:37 left in the third period. The media timeout here. And the Buccaneers will be on the Mid-America Energy power play.
Yeah, cross-checking penalty on Jonas Kemp's 6'6".
Wow.
The big defenseman for the Chicago Steel heading to the box, and a huge power play here for the Bucs. They scored on their first power play of the game, but they were not able to capitalize on their second. 1 for 2 so far, looking to put themselves in the lead for the first time since the Argentina goal in the first period. Also, as we're on the topic right now, the Chicago Steel in the third period this season, they have been good. 7 goals for, 1 goal against heading into tonight's game when it comes to playing in the third period, but that's been a different story tonight. currently have not scored in the third period and have allowed one goal. So the Buccaneers looking to add on to that power play looming for the Buccaneers.
Here that our home feed might have gone away. Face off to the glove side. Draw. And the Buccaneers power play unit on the ice. To Tyler left-hand side.
2 minutes.
Down to the far side. And Chicago still clear it out. And Randall chasing after.
Buccaneers at the offensive zone. I'm taking over for Tony. It seems like our home feed has stopped, so I'll pick things up while Tony tries to get things working again. Buccaneers with the Zielinski to Randall at the top of the point. Randall to his right, Zielinski back to Randall up top. Randall to Zielinski once again. He has Argentina who shoots. Rebound is there. Where is it? Not able to get it past his Tyler. Shara with a big stop there. Bucks retrieve though. Randall at the left point. Down low, back up to Randall. Randall over to his right. Zielinski. Zielinski to Randall, applying some pressure. Randall back to Zielinski, looking for a pass out in front, doesn't get it. Tyler will smack it around the back of the net, and one of the Steel players held one of the Bucks. I didn't see who that was. That was Zidlicki that got held. No penalty. Some of the Bucks fans were calling for one. The Buccaneers have it in their own zone. Theo Kiss behind his net, trying to set up.
Yeah, I don't have any idea why the home feed went down. The lights went off the shoulder. Back out to the Buccaneers, left-hand side. Fires a shot in the protective netting.
The 5-8 shots from the Buccaneers focus on their goals off the ice by expertly assisting employee payroll and benefit processes. And Bucks fans, big time to get those tickets done out of your pockets. Winning number 4 tonight's game.
Well, we apologize for flow feed on the home side. Wallen with the face-off for the Buccaneers to the thick side. Chicago Blackhawk goaltender, or Chicago still goaltender.
There's the stoppage for a winning number for tonight's 50-50. The number is 0, 1, 0, 6, 0, 4. 010-604. You have that winning ticket. Bring it to us.
8:02 of third, face off to the glove side. Draw. Wallen with the face off, wins the face off, draws back to the blue line. Looking to the left hand side. Theo Kiss walks it in, fires a shot on that save. Shara back to the near side. Played by Ori. Back to the near side, to the far side now. The Buccaneers with it. Fires a shot into protective netting.
It's a good move there by Sealinger to get it around. A nice fake, pump fake there on the shot, but not able to get a clean look on it. So it redirected up into the netting as the Buccaneers power play not successful this time. 1 for 3 on the night. Their first power play was successful, but the latter two have not been.
Well, lives are like everything. Undo the power, reboot it, bring it back up, see what happens. I don't know. Burrows with the face-off for the Buccaneers. And they still win the face-off, played on the near side. Down into the Buccaneer defensive side of the ice. Played by the far side by Searles. And here comes the Bucks. Right-hand side shot. Just goes wide. Draw.
Yeah, there's Norcross with a chance. Great solo rush by Norcross to get around the big Jonas Kemps.
Loose puck right in front of the Buccaneer bench. To the far side, Rooney with it for the Bucks on the left-hand side. Nope. Then shot, never made it.
He was looking for Wallen. He was looking to return the favor from that earlier.
Fires a shot, just goes wide across the far side. Well, luckily the YouTube feed is still going over there, it looks like. All the way down to the Buccaneer end of the rink, and Thorpe plays it for the Bucks. All the way up through center ice. Chicago still with it on the left-hand or right-hand side, up through center ice, down to the Buccaneer rink. Randall chasing after it. Chamel in their 2-3-3 hockey game. 5:52 remaining. Buccaneers out shooting the Blackhawks 26-16. Nice save by Weiland. And here comes Zielinski back the other way. Couldn't get the shot off. Chicago still pick it up through center ice. Played at the blue line. Zielinski with it. Walks it all the way in. Couldn't get the shot off. Shot on net save by Shara.
Some good chances there by both sides. We had a turnover by the Buccaneers, giving the Steela a good chance that Weiland had to kick out with that left pad. But then we saw Zielinski, Zidlicki had some good looks, but nothing goes. And it's still 3-3. Shots in favor, 27-17. But in this third period, it started off all Chicago, but now it's 10-9 in favor of the Buccaneers when it comes to shots.
Face off to the stick side. Draw. Back to Pearl. Pearl has it to the far side. Searles picks it up off the end board. Back up through center ice into the Chicago still bid. 5:09 left in the third period. 3-3 hockey game. You do it.
Okay. All right, Tony, once again trying to fix the broadcast. We apologize that the video has gone out. So Tony working on that right now. I'll step in one more time here as the faceoff is won by Chicago, and Davenport will chase after it. Davenport smacks it up to Sealinger and is picked off by Chicago, and into the offensive zone they come. Kroll swipes it with a stick, and it chips off the boards high and kept in momentarily, and Sealinger feels like he got hit in the face. He's a little slow to get up, but the Buccaneers, Wallen comes up with it. Reese Wallen tries to shoot, but it gets stopped before it can reach the goaltender, and Sealinger picks it up. Sealinger with the steal, toe drag, shot! And it will chip up into the netting. 4:36 remaining here in the third period. That line has had some good looks tonight. Reese Wallen, Belladonna, Sealinger. Combined for the most recent goal was Reese Wallen to Belladonna. Ryan Kroll had the secondary assist as we lined up for a faceoff in the offensive zone. The former Steele, Owen Tylett, had the draw for the Buccaneers. And it's won by Chicago. Kemps with it. Up to Kazda. Kazda into the offensive zone. We'll send it around to Weiland, who will play the puck. Thorpe to Zidlicki, just out of Zidlicki's reach, and Kemp comes up with it. Over to his defensive partner, Frank Yu, the captain of the Chicago Steel. Back to Kemps, up to Kazda. Kazda, over to his left, picked off by Zielinski. Tylett will send it down. Zidlicki is chasing. Zidlicki and Tylett in there with the Buccaneers. Kemp's in there. So is Frank Yu, and it comes free to Frank Yu. If they hurry, they might have numbers here. Kazda into the offensive zone. He shoots just wide of the far post, and if the Buccaneers hurry, they might have numbers. Zidlicki shoots it down. Just around to the near side. It's fought for in that corner on the near side. Back up top. He was looking for Norcross. Not able to get to it. It's into the offensive zone. Comes the steal. Fought 4 on that near side, but here comes Omen to his left. Down low to Schultz. Schultz turns. He has Randall on him with 3:15 remaining here in this third period. Tie game between the Buccaneers and the Steel, 3-3. Randall in there. It looks like we might have got our feed back up and working as Tony just got off the phone. Norcross down in there. Across. And big save by Wilet.
Back out to the point. Chicago still fires it. Wyland with the save again.
Seamless transition over to Tony. I'm
Yeah.
kidding. I'm kidding.
I'll tell you what, it just got warm in here. They're trying to work on electronics, and it was not our fault. They said the platform on all home feeds went down or something. I don't know, but we're back up and running. Shot on net. Wyland with the save.
So it looks like, sounds like we have everything back up and running, which is always a good sign. As we have a face-off here for the Steel in the offensive zone, but what a great chance for the Steel. Wilet with a huge save wide open on that left, around that left dot. And Wilet had to come up big for the Buccaneers, and 2:30 remaining here in this final period of regulation. The Buccaneers trying to hold on.
Shot on net. Wyland with the save.
Buccaneers changing out. The same group of 5 Steel players stay on the ice.
28 left in third period. If we do end up going to overtime, it'll be a 5-minute overtime, 3-on-3 hockey. Sudden death. Still tied after that, Eliza. We go to a shootout.
We never did see a shootout at home last season.
Back on the near side, Wallen with it. Signature brings it down into the Buccaneer offensive side of the ice. Back up through center ice it comes. 27-29 shots. Pull with it for the Bucks. Off the far side. Through center ice. Back and forth. All the way up through center ice, and that got tipped, no icing, and the Buccaneers making a line change. Pilot, Wasilinsky, Thorpe out there for the Bucks. Got the Buccaneers up out of the zone, all the way down on the Chicago Steel in the right. And Siraj is going to cover it up, a little pushing and shoving. After the whistle there.
Tuminaru and Zidlicki were the ones going at it. Zidlicki with a fantastic chance. He tried to get it around and through Cole Tuminaru, the 6'4" defenseman for the Chicago Steel, but no can do. It trickles in on Shira. Gets a stop. 1:23 remaining here in the third period. Big offensive zone face-off for the Buccaneers. If they could win this and get some looks offensively, it could lead to a goal. So the Buccaneers need to try to win this face-off as Tyler takes the draw. Top line on top line here.
Lincoln with the face, or Tyler with the face off. The face off, top of the circle, fires it, shot, just goes wide. Rob back up to Buccaneers center ice. McHale chasing after it for the Buccaneers, gets a stick on it. He gets it up out of the zone. Back to Zielinski, to Tyler. The puck comes all the way down to the Buccaneers. 1 minute remaining in the third period. If I'm a betting guys, Eliza, the next goal wins this game. Whether in regulation and of course in overtime. Buccaneers with it down on the offensive side of the ice. Could hang on to it. Back out to center ice it comes. Chicago still brings it down into the Buccaneer defensive side of the ice. They're working on the left-hand side. Davenport gets a stick on it, trickles it off into the corner. Back up through center ice it comes. The Buccaneers one more time back the other way. Searles chasing after it for the Buccaneers off the inboards. Don't want to take a penalty here at all, so be careful, guys. Decent with it for the Still on the near side. Ron to the far side. Couldn't get a shot off. Poke check by Weiland. Sent over to the far side by Rooney. Off the inboard. And gets a stick on it. And that's going to do it. After 3 periods of play, it's a Buccaneers 3, Chicago Steel 3. Both teams will pick up a point. And Eliza now will be looking for the extra point. Somebody will walk away with 2 points, and somebody gets 1 point. So,
so far for the Buccaneers, it's been a night of highs and lows. Started off 1-0. You allow 3 goals in 2:59 in the second period, and then 2 straight goals by the Buccaneers. I wouldn't say the Buccaneers have all the momentum in the world heading into this overtime, as you've seen chances go both ways after that Della Donna goal. But right now, 3-on-3, you know how they play. It's very defensive, very conservative to say the least. They like to hold the puck and wait for the perfect opportunity. Yep. So we'll see what happens. But we saw some overtime goals in this building last year, good and bad for the Buccaneers. So we'll see what happens. It's all about trying to get behind the defense. So we'll see. And a lot of the times for overtime, it's whoever is faster wins.
Well, it's you watch it out there, 3-on-3. It's a big game to keep away.
Oh yeah,
it's a big game to keep away. And it's whoever makes the mistake and gives up the puck. Is usually the other team picks it up and gets the goal.
You also need your goaltenders to come up big.
Yeah,
Max Weiland so far has faced 20 shots, stopping 17 of them, and Shara has faced 27 shots, stopping 24 of them. So both goaltenders have made some big saves tonight, come up with some big stops, but none of that matters now, as we're in overtime, and every shot with a chance to give you that extra point.
Chicago still sends out 2 defensemen, 1 forward, and we'll see what the Buccaneers send out.
Schultz, Kalbeck, and their captain Carter Franku. Looks like Searles is out there currently.
The Buccaneers going to send out
Searles.
I'm not sure. They keep cycling around in front of the bench here.
Nope, Searles coming back to the bench.
Nope.
Cole, the captain, goes out.
Yep, Cole's going out.
Davenport,
another defenseman. And maybe
I think Searles. He's talking right now to the coaches. And
so both teams, 2 defensemen, 1 forward out there for both teams.
And we've seen the Buccaneers allow some goals tonight by allowing the Steel to get behind them on the defensive side of things. So the Buccaneers need to keep your head on a swivel, especially in overtime here. Like Searles might try to win this to Davenport, as they have all 3 players lined up on the red line here.
And they're going to get a hand pass by the Buccaneers.
I think they're sending Searles to the penalty box.
Oh, no.
Covering face-off violation, I believe.
Oh, no. The Buccaneers are going to be on the Buccaneers being a Hickland-Dorner service penalty kill here. Maybe not.
Maybe not. Are they changing their mind? Well, they opened up the penalty box and sent Searles. And are we gonna? Let's see. Because initially they were pointing at Searles, pointing towards the box for a face-off violation. But now they closed the penalty box and Searles is back out on the ice. And they're talking with head coach Derek Damon right now. And well, Scott Gomez has 4 players around a whiteboard right now, assuming they're going to be on the power play. So we'll see what comes of this, but looks like a timeout.
Timeout, Chicago.
And there goes Searles.
Yeah, we called it. And here's the penalty kill here for the Buccaneers. Wow, that's big.
That's huge. And, the Steel have scored 2 power play goals tonight. And it's going to be 4-on-3, a lot of open ice to work with. And, they called that because in the face-off, Searles went down,
Yep.
put his hand over the puck to try to push it to Davenport, and you saw them line up. They had Kroll on the left, Searles in the middle, and on the right was Davenport. And Searles went down, tried to push it over with his hand, and it's been a rough game for Searles. 3 penalties so far, and taking a penalty in overtime is never a good feeling. So now the Buccaneers need to have a huge penalty kill. So far, 3 for 5 on the night, looking to make their biggest kill so far.
So, Elijah, how this works, it'll be 4-on-3 hockey. That penalty expires. It'll be 4-on-4 until a whistle, then it'll go back to 3-on-3. Tyler with the face-off for the Bucks. Still win the face-off, top of the circle, down on the near side to Schultz. Just down below the blue line. Then over to the far side. Working a high slot to the far side. Buccaneers trying to get a stick on it. Back to Schultz. They use Schultz a lot on that left-hand side for the Chicago Steel. Working it down in deep, left-hand side. Sent over to the far side. Lucky bouncer for the Buccaneers as it bounced over the Chicago Steel stick there. Omen played to the near side. And the Buccaneers able to clear it up out of the zone. And Argentina comes off the bench on the fresh pair of legs coming out. And the Buccaneers get a piece on it. Here comes Argentina back the other way. Short-handed try. Here comes the Bucks shot on net. Save the straw. And the Buccaneers, nice penalty kill unit for the Bucks. Offensive face-off here for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, there's so much open ice here when you're in overtime on the 4-on-3s, and Argentina off the bench. We talked about earlier how he's a speedy forward for the Buccaneers, and you saw it right there off the wall. A miscue once again. Second time it's happened tonight where 2 Steel players have ran into each other, and it leads to an Argentina break, but big stop by Chirac.
4:04 left in the overtime period. Still win the face-off down on the Buccaneers defensive side of the ice, or the Chicago Steel defensive side of the ice. It comes still back the other way to the far side, right-hand side across center ice line. Below the blue line to the right slam circle. Top of the circle. Chicago Steel's trying to set it up. 40 seconds remaining on the penalty kill unit here for the Buccaneers. High slot, left side, face-off dot, back to the right-hand side. Tried to tip it home, couldn't do it. Weiland got tripped up on the play. The puck went wide. Still walks it in, blocked in front by the Buccaneers. Shot up over the head. A Weiland, a loose puck, and the Buccaneers clear it out. 10 seconds remaining on the penalty kill here for the Buccaneers. And this is going to be a huge penalty kill if the Buccaneers can make it that far. 3 seconds remaining on the penalty. Still brings it in across the blue line. The Buccaneers are back to full strength. Sent over to the far side. Turtles with it for the Buccaneers. And now it's 4-on-4 hockey until a whistle. Still with it. Walks it in off the half boards down below the goal line. Centering pass right out front, broken up. And the Buccaneers going to get a piece of it. Davenport in there to dig it out. To the far side, the puck trickles up out of the zone. Deladonna pitches up to it. Now it's a big game to keep away here for the Buccaneers.
And it makes it a little harder since it's 4-on-4 instead of 3-on-3, so less open ice for these players.
Randall. Yep, pull up to Randall. Played on the near side. Puck goes all the way down in behind the Buccaneers goaltender's net. Island with it. Back up to the near side. Zelensky over to Tyler. Here comes Chicago Steel up through the neutral zone. Trying to walk it in behind 3 Buccaneer players. Couldn't do it. Top of the circle. Fires it. Blocked in front. Back after the blue line. Still keep it in. 1:40 remaining in the period. Still tied. Shot on net. Saved by Weiland. And that goes up into the bench. 1:29 left in the overtime period. 3-3 hockey game.
Now we move to 3-on-3 as you mentioned, first whistle of overtime after it's a 4-on-4. It switches back to 3-on-3. So we'll see who the Buccaneers bring out. It looks like it's going to be 2 forwards and a defenseman. Zidlicki, Sealinger, and Thorpe out for the Buccaneers. Looks like it's going to be Crowder, Schultz, and Sinersha for the steal. And a big face-off win here for the Buccaneers or steal could determine how this overtime goes.
With the face-off for the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers win the face-off. 2 players, Clyde, get taken down. Sealinger with it for the Buccaneers on the near side. On the half board, trying to walk it around. Trickles out of the zone. Buccaneers going to have to come back in the neutral zone, get back on side. 3-on-3 hockey. Back to Thorpe. Still putting some pressure on him. Buccaneers bringing it across the blue line. Still intercept the pass. Played to the near side. Chicago still brings it up to half boards. Walensky back out there on the ice for the Buccaneers. To the far side, Chicago still walks it in across the blue line. Fires a shot on set. Weiland with the save. 37 seconds remaining overtime period.
Good stop there. The Buccaneers just not able to get anything going offensively so far besides the Argentina chance here in overtime. Once again, a big defensive zone faceoff for the Buccaneers, and looks like Tyler will be in, taking this against Henry Major, the former teammate.
Chicago still won the face-off. Taking a shot, broken stick. Did not get all the wood on it he wanted. Chicago still keep it in at the blue line. 27 seconds remaining in the period. Buccaneers tried to pick it off, almost did. Couldn't get it out of the zone. Now it's back out to the neutral zone. Putting the pressure on it. Walensky. Tyler out there too.
One final rush here for Chicago.
Randall on the ice for the Buccaneers. And here comes the Bucks. Walensky with it. 2 seconds remaining. Shot on net save. And we have our first shootout, I think, at the Recplex ever at the Buccaneer Arena. We never had a shootout last year.
None last season, but first this season. And right now, I guess we don't really have any stats because there's been no shootouts. But last season, the Buccaneers were perfect in the shootout. They scored every chance they got, and their goaltender stopped every shot against. So if the Buccaneers can replicate that, then we'll have a pretty successful shootout here. But Carra's been good all night. Weiland's been good all night. We'll need to see how the forwards go. I was going to say, we saw a shootout in the preseason by the Buccaneers up in Sioux City. And they won that one.
Yep.
So we'll see who goes for each team and who will prevail in this one.
All right, here we go. We'll see who's going to come out first. And not a big surprise here for Chicago still. Schultz comes out here for the steal.
And he has a goal and an assist tonight so far. So looking to put his prints over this game even more.
Schultz with it for the steal. Picks it up, center ice line, across the blue line. He's going to go to the left-hand side, to the stick side. A Weiland shot goal. And a nice, pretty goal there by Schultz. And they still up 1-0 in a 3-round shootout.
I got to do the 5-hole of Max Weiland, and Schultz has been dynamite tonight. And here comes Argentina, who's also been good tonight. So we'll see if he can respond here, and the response will be big.
Argentina, right-hand side, top circles, fires it, shot, save.
Good save by Shara. He stayed with it the whole time.
He did stay with it.
Argentina showing his silky mitts there a little bit, going left to right, stick handling. Shara doesn't fall for any of it.
Oh, man. for the Chicago Steel. Picks it up. He goes to the right-hand side. Then go to the glove side. By Weiland. Stick side shot. Nice save by Weiland. And boy, he just got a toe on that, a pad on that, and he kept it out. I thought that one was going in.
Kind of like Evgeny Kuznetsov would do. You slow way down, try to get it 5-hole, but
Blake Selinsky picks it up, center ice line across the blue line. He goes left-hand side, stick side. Hurrah. He walks it in slowly, shot, never made it. Never really got a shot off.
yeah, that one trickled off his stick,
Yep.
and Sherrod just did a little poke check there, got it off the stick, and now Crowder has the chance to win it for the Chicago Steel in the shootout.
Picks it up center ice line. He's going to go to the right-hand side, glove side. Now he brings it back, stick side, shot over the head of Weiland. And now
A goal would send this to the 4th round, and if Sealinger isn't able to score, the Steel win this one.
picks it up center ice line. He goes to the left-hand side, walks it in slowly, stick side, fires it, shot, goal! Yeah, baby, yeah! The Buccaneers tied up in the shootout.
Good backhand. He was on his forehand, went to backhand last second, and got it past Sharon in the bottom of the 3rd. It's like a baseball game, kind of. Now we're at the top of the 4th here. We have the Chicago Steel with a chance now. We're in extra rounds here.
Right-hand side across the blue line to the left-hand circle. Shot. Nice save by Weiland. And this could win it for the Buccaneers.
Here comes Rooney. He was the Buccaneers' first-round tender last season. A lot of hype surrounding him. Committed to the University of Wisconsin. So he hasn't scored yet in the USHL, so this would be big.
Rooney, left-hand side across the blue line. Top of the circle, high slot. Fires it, shot saved by Shara.
Yeah, he tried to just force that one there. Not able to go. Shara sprawls down, gets a save, and here comes Colin Sisson. He was part of last year's Steel team.
Picks it up. He goes to the left-hand side across the blue line. Full head of steam. Very fast shot. Score. Walks it in. Backhand a shot. Gets one past Weiland. And Harper Searles. Lane, Minnesota. Looking to tie it up here in the shootout across the blue line. He's going to walk it down the right-hand side and shot. Score! Yeah, baby, yeah, baby, yeah. The Buccaneers tie it once again in a shootout.
6th round of the shootout coming up. Good job by Searles to keep this thing going. Here comes Bergen. So far on the season, he has 4 shots on net, 3 goals. So he is good with the puck on the stick.
Right-hand side, right circle, high slot, shot wide of Weiland. And here we go again. The Buccaneers score here. It's over.
Here comes Deladonna, a veteran of this team. He has been around for a while.
Nate Deladonna with the chance to win it here. He walks it in, left-hand side across the blue line. High slot. Walks it in, shot save. Shara with a save, and we're all knotted up again going into the 7th round.
7th round.
2-2.
3-3, I did. It's been a lot. Scantleberry. This was the Steel's first round tender in this last year's draft.
Right-hand side, right circle, high slot. Slowly, shot save. Weiland with a nice save, and the Buccaneers, if they score here, they win.
Here comes Zidlicki, one of the newest Buccaneers.
Zidlicki, yep.
Looking to make an impact already. He's only been around for about a month or so, but man.
Here we go. He picks it up, center ice line. He goes to the far right. Kind of slow. Yeah, could not get a shot off. Tried to do backhanded shot, front to back, and could not get it off. Now here comes Chicago Steel on the
8th round.
8th round. Majors with it.
At the beginning of the season, Waterloo and Muskegon got to 10 rounds. So right now we're on 8. Henry Major.
Right-hand side, top of the circle. Score. Majors with it on the short or on the far side of Weiland. And he makes it
4-3 lead in the shootout.
Yep. Tyler out there for the Buccaneers. Owen Tyler.
The former Steel able to do it against his former team.
There we go. Tyler with it. To tie it up again in the shootout. Shot save, and the Chicago Steel is going to win in the shootout. They make it a 4-3 hockey game. And the Buccaneers back in action tomorrow night against the same Chicago Steel team. 6:05 face-off. Kid zone outside with the bouncy playhouses.
So it should make for a good game. Good game tonight. The Buccaneers had to overcome a 2-goal deficit. They did that, and then in the shootout, able to respond 3 separate times, but the 4th time too much to ask for, and Buccaneers fall 4-3 in the 8th round of the shootout. That's a long shootout, I must say.
Yeah, that's a long shootout, and long shootout there for the Buccaneers. And the positive side of it, they got 1 point on the standings. Not going up against the standings on the Chicago Steel, but at least they get a point in the standings here for the western side.
They play tomorrow, so Buccaneers will look to get some revenge, and I wonder if the same goaltenders will start, if they'll switch it up a little bit. There's a lot to ask. We'll see if Dockler never came back after he got injured in that first period, so we'll see who slides into the lineup for the Steel if he is unable to play. So a lot of questions, a couple injuries for the Bucks. We had Howard that was out. It's Zupfer, he was out of the lineup, so we'll see. Wenkus as well. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, what the lineups look like as we await our 3 stars.
Yeah, we'll get our 3 stars of the game here. Eliza, you got a full day of hockey tomorrow?
I do.
Eliza is the new play-by-play guy for the local high school team here, the Des Moines Oakleys, and he gets a preseason game tomorrow as their preseason is just starting off. High school hockey starts out a little bit later here than the Buccaneers regular season does, so I'm sure you're looking forward to that.
Busy day tomorrow.
Yep, busy day. I remember those days.
Thurl's 3rd star of the game. Henry Major, 2nd star. And then Ashton Schultz, goal and an assist on the night for the Chicago Steel, is the number 1 star. And that rounds out our 3 stars of the game.
All right, Lions, I think we're going to sign off. It's been a long day. We got here way early today. It's almost 10 o'clock here Central Time. And appreciate you coming on here. Looking forward to tomorrow night's game. If you have any steam or any voice left after tomorrow's, Eliza's going to be doing a JV game and a varsity game tomorrow. And that's how I started out doing the games. And it's a lot of work, but you'll have a lot of fun doing it. And we'll tear it down here. And thanks for listening to Des Moines Buccaneer Hockey on YouTube or watching on Flow Sports.